Everybody all aboard. 1 2 1 2. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shannon show. Yeah. I finally got it. I've got up in here today. I made it. So, hey, what's going on? Damien? How you doing, man? Hope everything's going all right. Can you hear me? Hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. Clap your hands this evening. Say it's all right. It's all right. So everybody, if you come in, I appreciate you hit the like button and share my stream out. I sure appreciate it. Cause it's all right. Come and go with me. All right, so man, okay, well it's gonna have to do. Overdue. Yeah, so what's going on now? So I'm still mad someone here in Kansas City broke into my car and took my sound box. Yeah, sorry to hear about that. Sorry to hear about that. Overdue. What is this one? Overdue. Let me flip this on. Overdue. Let's see. Is that back? Is it backwards? Is it forward? Back and forth and forth. Back. back and forth. And yeah, it's because of Kansas Chiefs situation. Say what? Wait a minute. So somebody broke into your car? What you mean? What you mean by the Kansas City Chiefs situation? What you mean by that? What were you last? Yeah, busy working. Yeah, busy with work. Conflict. Yeah. Yeah, I was stuck at work, so I was gonna try to maybe stream later last week, but I said, I'll just wait till next Wednesday. But yeah, the bills got to be paid. The Super Bowl year, I brought it up. Yeah, he was. He who was mad? Who was mad? I'm still mad somewhere in Kansas City. Yeah, bro. He was that guy who broke in. Mad about the Super Bowl, so he broke into your car. Is that the way I'm understanding it? So he got mad at the Super Bowl, so he just busted in your car. But yeah, that's possible. But though, did he get caught? He in trouble? I mean, you get handled business or whatever. You get stuff taken care of. You get that situation taken care of. Well, overdue. Okay, well, good. Well, good. You got business taken care of. So your car. I'm sure. And got my window. From the window and my window. That's good. You got everything fixed. Well, that's good. You got it worked out. But yeah, it sucked, man. You had to deal with that little stuff, But yeah, that ain't right taking it out of your car because it's just. I'm telling you, man. People egos, they still heartbreaking. It's just a game. I get it. People are dedicated, but my gosh, and to me, it'll never be that worth it going out. I'm saying if you got to go hit some baseballs or something, go to the gym. Yeah. But I mean, that can happen anywhere, not just Kansas. That can happen anywhere. Overdue. Yeah, that can happen anywhere. It's unfortunate it happened there. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate it happened there, But yeah, I'm glad you able. It wasn't too minor, Oh, well, where did you get that hat from? Yeah, I know it's not 4th of July. I got it from Walmart some time back. Yeah, that's right. That's what I want to wear. It don't matter to me. Red, white, and blue goes all year round. I mean, American flag, red, white, and blue. Hey, it's up. It goes up every day. It's not 4th of July. So what's the difference between this hat and the flag? Okay. But yeah, football season. I still need to buy a new sound box. Yeah, you'll get that back in time. You work and just get a band back. I've been there before. It sucks. Yeah, you work hard and stuff. You put your hard-earned money. You take time to save up and get stuff because somebody else, because they ain't got they don't want to go out and get to work and get their own. They rather take it. That's the sucky part. You got to deal with people like that all the time. But that's just the way the world is. That's where we at. Yeah, it's nothing. It's not fun. Something fun to deal with. That for sure. It ain't no fun. Whoop, 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 whoop. But yeah, can't believe it's it's preseason and you know what? I keep seeing on the news. Hey, what's up, Max Charles? What's up, Max Charles? Overdue. Oh yeah, what's up, Max Charles? If I flip it this way, can I do it this way? If I'm let me do it this way. What's good? What's up? Getting ready for 23rd. Is going to. Is that right? Is it going down? Is that right? Is that right, sir? Is that right? Overdue. Man, I can't make my thing stroll. Okay, there we go. I got it right. To get ready, yeah. It is it is right. That's funny. Overdue. Overdue. Hey, what's wrong with what's wrong with him? Yeah, he told me. Yeah, he had a break-in his car. So yeah, and they caught the guy and that thing kind of. They got him. They called him, but he's able to get his window fixed. But his sound box, I guess, it's a stereo system. Got to replace that again, unfortunately. Overdue. Yeah, man. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, man, I'm ready to get into the preseason. You know what? I'm getting tired of seeing the news. Hey, what's up, Kim? You're glowing, sir. Hey, what's up now? Kim speaking. Hey, here you are glowing. That's right. I got the glow. You'll be all right, Damien. Kim is speaking to Max, and hello to Max and Damien. But yeah, so I'm this preseason. I'm tired of the stuff. I'm sick of the Cleveland Browns. I like Shedeur. I'm tired of hearing about Ray. I'm tired of hearing about Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and stinking Dylan Gabriel. Oh, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm sick of it. It's like, why don't the Cleveland Browns just go ahead and trade Shedeur and be done? Because the Cleveland Browns have never had this much coverage since Shedeur came to camp 2 months ago. And matter of fact, Garrett Bush showed the stats from the other day, showing after as good of a game Shedeur did against Carolina Panthers, they showed the quarterback chart, the depth chart or whatever, and Shedeur was in Joe Flacco 1, Kenny Pickett 2, Dylan Gabriel 3, and Shedeur is 4th, even though Shedeur did better than Dylan Gabriel. And it just came out the other day from G. Bush and How is Kenny Pickett? How is Kenny Pickett number 2? He ain't even done nothing yet. That just show you the Browns. I wish they would just end this. Trey Shedeur to a better team so he could go back and cook them boys, take the Cleveland Browns down. Because you know what? Because they trade Shedeur and send him off to another team. We won't have to hear about this no more. And the Cleveland Browns won't get this much coverage again. They just show because I want it to backfire on Cleveland. Because I think they just screwing around with Shedeur. Andrew Berry, who's the general manager, is like the one who really wanted him versus the owner, because the owner took a shot at Shedeur saying he didn't want to have nothing to do with it and this and that. The owner just straight up sucked. I don't care. I said to his old flabby wrinkled face, sick of the owner's a punk. All right, he's a straight up punk, And then Shedeur had to deal with one of the writers, Cleveland Brown writers. He saw him after the Carolina Panthers game. Shedeur kind of went at him, but he didn't say nothing negative. He said, man, why you can't never say nothing positive, after all the stuff, Shedeur got on him, it's like, my gosh, this is in-house. It's like the Browns, Shedeur doing the best despite, even the thing that went down with Shedeur with, Shedeur got pulled over for driving too fast, which he missed. He shouldn't have been driving fast, but anything that put on Shedeur because he's Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, all of this thing, it's like they find every little thing to nitpick. And that stinking heifer, Mary Kay, she got a big old flabby mouth. She just in the beginning when Shedeur was in the draft, she was all for the Shedeur, this and that, and then all of a sudden the heifer flipped, did a 360 and everything like the Exorcist. She started spitting out green vial out about Shedeur. I'm sick of it, man. It's like every day I keep looking because now you see everybody's title saying Shedeur gonna be traded. Will he be traded? And this kind of thing, it's like, my gosh, why don't they just trade Shedeur and be done? Send him down to Tampa Bay Buccaneers with his brother Shiloh so they can come back and give it to him. Cause I want Cleveland to go ahead and just screw this up and ship Shedeur out so Shedeur can go to a team that really wants him and he can turn into a dynasty like Tom Brady. Just go and give it to him. You know what I mean? What's up? Max Charles said, I have a new job, music producer, and I work out at Cedar Point. Oh, cool, man. Kim said, yeah, LOL, right, Max. I'm sick of it, man. Max said, I quit the sports bar. It's wild for me. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's right. You got to know when to get up on out of there. Max said, I have a new job. Music producer, and I work at Cedar Point. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, congratulations. Like Kim saying, congratulations, Max. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sick of it, man. And everybody's taking a shot, and they keep coming at Shedeur. Now, where was this same energy at for Dillon Gabriel? Dillon Gabriel played against the Eagles. He had the first team reps and everything, and screwed up through interceptions and everything. He didn't do as good as Shedeur. And Shedeur had like the second, third rep teams or whatever, and was killing it. And the highlights, and I'm sure the coach, and I like Kevin Stefanski, whatever his name is. I'm sick of the raggedy coach too, And somebody told me at work, and I think I heard Ocho Cinco from Nightcap with Club Shake Shake with Shannon Sharp saying the Browns have gone through 30 quarterbacks since 2000. 30 quarterbacks. That show you that they just suck. You know what? The name fits for the Cleveland Browns. It's really Browns full. They full of brown. Browns. Full of brown. You know what I mean? That name fits them too. Brown. Yeah, Cleveland Browns. I told Gravy, I said the only good thing about Cleveland is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's the only good thing about Cleveland now, that seems to me. I don't even care about the Cavaliers. No, that's the only thing that's good about Cleveland is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's the only best thing they got going for them. Because the Browns don't want to win. I never seen the Browns, have they ever qualified, went to any playoffs or anything? It's hot in that costume. I bet it is. It's hot in that costume. But has the Cleveland Browns won anything? I ain't heard. I maybe heard a little bit about the Browns over the years, but in Baker Mayfield, I heard about him, but he ended up getting shipped off to Tampa. And I was hearing he feel like he's more of himself now since he left Cleveland. That kind of thing. Baker Mayfield, because he's supposed to be like the big prospect or whatever for the Browns, but now he's with Tampa playing with Shedeur's brother Shiloh. I hope they come back and cook Cleveland. I like Shedeur. I'm a Shedeur fan. And I ain't heard about Joe Flacco. I've been hearing about him all summer. Kenny Pickett ain't picked up a ball and threw nothing. No tennis ball, no basketball, no football, no nothing. No softball, nothing. He ain't threw nothing. But yet on the depth chart, they were showing Kenny Pickett second on there. That showing you they trying to wrong Shedeur every which way they can, doing them dirty. I keep seeing in the comments people saying, I comment too, I wish they just go ahead and trade this so they can send him off somewhere. Shedeur can go start a dynasty and then a backfire on Cleveland. And so Cleveland, Cleveland's like the dead zone. Is that where people's careers go to die or what? Because, maybe the lockers, maybe the teammates like Shedeur, but it's like the higher ups, the coach and the owner, they don't care nothing about him. And I'm so tired of that thing about Deion Sanders. And I kept seeing like the NFL players or people pointing out saying, Archie Manning was saying when Peyton was going to the NFL, he was telling Peyton the teams he didn't want him to go to. Deion did the same thing for his son, just the dad looking out for his son because they both been there. They know how teams are, and they know what team would be a good fit for their son, to just being a dad, not a coach, whatever, just being a dad, looking out for their son, trying to protect him. But when Deion said the same thing, it was just big controversy. But when Archie Manning was saying it to Peyton, no big deal. But I tell you, I don't know what it is, man. Brothers just can't catch a break up in here. It's one thing after another, And so like Dylan Gabriel, I guess he just can't do no wrong, and they just messed up. And Shedeur did 1,000 times better than Dylan Gabriel, And they know the character of the owner. Okay. Yeah, the owner suck. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. It's the same thing parallel with the coach. Jim Irsay, God rest his soul, he passed away months ago. But Irsay was in the way. It's like some people, I don't care how much money you got or whatever, it's in you, inside you, or something in your genes or whatever to win. Some people are just winners and some ain't. Some like them owners, they just got money and they just want to throw it around because they got money, people working for them. It don't matter if they win or not. I felt like that was the same thing with Irsay because I talked to somebody at work. I said, Irsay, if he had kept Peyton Manning, he traded him like back in 2011 or 2010 or 2011. Peyton had that neck injury or whatever. And Andrew Luck, was the new quarterback. And then they ship him off to Denver. And look what happened. Won and got another Super Bowl. He went twice with Denver. He almost got that first time, but they lost, but they went to the Super Bowl. And then he went back again. He got he got a second chance and won a Super Bowl ring. I told somebody that Super Bowl could have been in the Colts, but no, Irsay kicked him to the curb. Now somebody told me maybe it's personal, I'm taking it personal, but business. But look what happened. The option they could have had it, I tell you, it's like them rich people, the ones that got so much money, it don't matter to them. They not no sports fans who real winners, They just got money, so hey, they can just do what they want, just go play time. I felt like it was like that with Irsay. He was more focused on his band and other stuff than trying to win to the Colts. It seemed like to me, he got all that money, but it's like he don't care. The money coming in his pocket, win or lose, And I heard they need to get rid of the general manager for the Colts too. It's like it's always seemed like it's always the general manager, the coach, and the owner. It's like they ain't on the same page. It's like it's always, and the thing is, it's always politics. It's always one thing, and they keep putting roadblocks, like for Shedeur, one thing after another. They keep moving the goalposts, this and that. And it's like, man, I was telling this to Jennifer the other day. It's the same thing over and over. Why can't it just be direct, common sense, make things easy, everybody get on the same page? You know, it's always got to be a constant conflict somewhere. Somebody wants to keep drama and stuff going. And that, I tell you, if it was left up to me, it would be a whole lot of people I would clean off. I would clean house on the NFL team staff, the Colts and the Cleveland Browns. I would boot that coach from the Browns and the coach. So now, you know, but that's how it is. That's how some people are. Some people just ain't winners, ain't got it in them. I don't care how much money can't buy you, make you a winner. You know, you can have the money, the team and stuff, but some people just ain't built that way, you know. Now, I just couldn't believe that the owner took a shot at his own player. No, didn't take no shot at Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, or Joe Flacco. No, took a shot at Shedeur. You know, why don't you take his old flabby butt, go home, drink some Geritol or something? You know, I'm serious. It's just aggravating. I had to stop watching because it's the same old thing. It's a drama thing. And I was listening to G. Bush again. He said Cleveland's real good at selling a lot of stuff. So I guess it would make sense. They can lie about it, you know, the quarterback competition and all that kind of thing. And, you know, selling jerseys, trying to get the numbers up because and they kept saying like Shedeur, it'd be a circus and stuff because of Shedeur being there because same stuff going back to Colorado, they keep dragging the same old stuff over and over. I'm saying if it's so much of a circus, why don't y'all just boot them and get rid of them and call it a day? No, they piggybacking off of Shedeur. You know, because it's giving them all that coverage, you know, because they ain't never had this much coverage ever. Not that I'd known, you know. I didn't know what an OTA was, minicamp, until Shedeur, you know, with the Cleveland Browns. But they just doing him dirty. But you know what? Shedeur gonna get his in the end. He gonna get them real good. Watch. Payback is a gray hair, you know. I'm serious, man. Trying to make this thing Max Charles. Max Charles says, I have to work tonight. It's a Charlie Brown theme at Cedar Point tonight. So I had to get, okay, that's cool. And then I get paid double. That's cool, man. Get that money. I'll send Domain some money to help with his. That's cool. Damien, that's cool, man. Help a buddy out. That's cool, man. But I'm sick of it, man. Over and over and over. Dylan Gabriel, he didn't play that too hot. And you know what? If you go back some more, him and Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel played against each other in college. You know, last year or whatever, because Dylan Gabriel played for Oregon, the quarterback. And I think that stank coach of theirs said, we don't play for clicks and stuff. Yeah, he straight up said it. And I think Colorado gave it to him. You know, we don't play for clicks. Saying this last year. So then, and then if you go back and listen to Dylan Gabriel after the game, the post, whatever, the post, you know, after the post game, he talking to the reporters and stuff, and he threw it out there. He said, some of us are competitors and some of us entertainers and some of us competitors or whatever. You know, it's like he taking throwing shade at Shedeur. You know what that was? And, you know, forget him. A little 2-foot quarterback, you know, got little girly hands. You know, look at him. Got that little soft skin, little girly face. And let's forget him. Mm-hmm. He ain't nothing but a big girl. That's all he is. Dylan Gabriel looks like a big girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you ever come to Cedar Point one day looking for me, I'm basically Charlie Brown. That's cool. And my homeboy Jaden is Snoopy. But yeah, man, I'm sick of it. Yeah. So Cleveland just needs to stop playing. I feel like they just gonna keep dragging Shedeur through the mud. They gonna do everything they can. I don't know, they're using it and like, who was it? Was it Travis Kelce or Jason Kelce? I think I saw it. He said the other day, free number 12. Yeah, I agree. They need to let him go and just be done with this. And Cleveland just go off into the sunset and just be miserable. I hope Cleveland never win no games. I hope they be 0-30 or whatever, 0-12 every year on out. every year and throwing out when they trade Shedeur. I want to see them lose every game. Just, wipe out every game. Wipe out every time. Oh, I'm serious. Cleveland just sucked, When the last time Cleveland really won? They ain't won since Jim Brown. They ain't won since Jim Brown played for them or Cosner, whatever his name is, back in the 80s, 88, 89. They ain't really done good. But yeah, somebody at work told me Cleveland has always been like this. I said, really? How do they survive it? And here's another thing. Why do fans keep putting up with that? Because you keep doing this. The fans that decide not to buy no tickets, never come to no games. Hey, the team will just show up not playing for anybody. I bet the owner would think twice about that. The fans stop buying tickets, don't fill no seats, just an empty house. Oh, what are you gonna do? Yeah, just take your little money, roll up, and go on about your business. The owner got that old money, his old looking self with that old money. I'm serious. That punk, the owner's a punk for real. He is an old punk, with his old money. Why don't you take your old butt on, move down to Florida or something or whatever, go hang out, whatever, go be old, go play some shuffleboard or whatever, play golf or whatever you do, get your little golf gloves and your knickers on and your pants and your shoes, your knicker pants and your shoes or whatever, and whatever, go on down Florida and just be old, go on down there and be old and go on about your business, Yeah, win no games. Why? Yeah, because it sucked, man. The way they should do it. It should backfire on him, A bunch of suckers, man. The owner a sucker. I hope he hear me say it. I said to him and his wife and his mama face, I said to Kevin Stefanski too. I talk about his mama too. If he want to say something, I don't care. I know he's a punk, a little old bitty, Yeah. I'm serious, man. I'm really fired up, Yeah, old wit. Kevin Stefanski and the owner, they need to get on their broom, go on down to, go get on their broom, go fly around some graveyards or something, get their cauldron in the back, I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm fired up, but it's just, I told Jennifer, that's why it's hard for me to watch sports now. I can watch more football than I can basketball. The players were better, they just wanted to win. It wasn't all this crying. And I think the owners and stuff seemed like it was better back then. Everything was just better. Cause now it's like the soft, everything is real delicate and soft now. I was talking to somebody at work the other day, last week or so. He was saying he used to be a referee. He used to be a referee for wrestling matches or whatever for games. And he said the moms would come over there and start fussing them about him, going easy on their baby and all. Oh, my gosh. The moms just ruin it. It's like, that's how you learn to be tough, Being an athlete, you can't have your mama on the side saying, saying stuff, fussing at oh, my gosh. I said, you can't learn like that. I played baseball, too. Growing up, I played baseball with the Y. My mom was out there, but she didn't say all this, telling referees to do all that. No, my mama didn't interfere. She just watched, I played, But so I get it, it's like, it's messed up, man. It's like the athletes, it's like, oh, nobody don't want to be tough. And like, what's his name? Pat McAfee said he wouldn't buy no new season tickets for the 2025 years, because Pat McAfee was a punter or kicker for the Colts years ago. He got his own show. He said it wasn't important because he was saying he think the Colts just purposely gave up. They didn't try to I don't know, to get through the playoffs or make it. They didn't even put they basically put their best foot forward. So they were hoping to get eliminated so they could just stay home until they had to work hard, just collect their money, stay at home, and order off of Amazon all day. I feel like they just treat it like any other thing. Like back then, it seemed like the players who had less money wanted to win more. It wasn't about the money. Of course, you get paid, but they wanted to win. They were trying to get championships, games. The money didn't get in the way of everything. I feel like that's causing a problem. And I see somebody else had brought up about the NIL. Now players, they feel like they ain't getting their money. Not an NFL player, but they're a college player. If their money ain't right, it seems like they more focused on getting their money right. Now, I understand you want to get your money, but it's like that money's coming first before they craft, the game of being an athlete. They more focused on their money than, like if they get their money, it's like the money, I don't know, and make them late unfocused, don't want to focus on putting the real work into being, playing the sport, the art of the game of football, or basketball. They so caught up on the NIL, they lose focus on everything else. It's like, I think I talked to some other people at work as well talking about the NIL. I think the NIL kind of messed some stuff up. Because now it's like the player don't like it. They can go. They can just jump in that portal and go somewhere else. Like the players. Here's another thing too. When Deion came to Colorado that first year, because he was still at Jackson State, he had to finish up that championship with Jackson State. But he came up there and visited the players. He threw it right on the table. He ain't going for no foolishness. Like if you feel like you need to leave now, just leave, because he was keeping it real. A lot of players transferred and left because they didn't want to, deal with somebody who was real, gonna keep, keep order in the house, that kind of thing. It's like, and then it's crazy how Deion, from his first season, how he caught all that flack. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. See, that's when you tell, somebody's doing the right thing, and the media, it's like they don't want to see nothing good. It's like somebody who's coming and actually making a change, making a difference, making it better for people. They're really, it's like, I don't know. It's just some people like that. They just jealous because they weren't capable of doing the same stuff like Deion. And see, that's another thing. How many of them jealous people can do what Deion did? Play baseball and football in the same week. Deion went to the Super Bowl, and plus he went to the World Series. How many could them ever say that? None of them. None of them. See, it's jealousy. I'm telling you, when people are jealous like that, because they weren't capable of doing that same thing, so they try to find a way to tear other people down because they just weren't that good. It's a God-given gift, and he understood his gift. That's what he gave him. I mean, they can't get mad at Deion. You have to take that up with God. I mean, ain't nothing you can do. You take it up with God. Some people just mad because they couldn't find their gift or be good at it. They didn't take the time, to find what they were good at, or they mad at themselves. They could feel like they didn't do good enough, or something. They just try, switch up and do something else. But don't get mad at Deion because he's good. He understood his gifts. He went out and chased it. Nobody didn't have to tell him. He knew what he was good at. He figured it out. He just went at it and did it. Put that work in. Of course, he still had to be disciplined, while doing it. But it's like, it's just crazy, man. I just get tired of hearing all this whine. Deion this, Deion that. It's like, man, you mean tell me you people are so focused on him, feel like your life just went, you didn't do nothing good enough. You had to go focus on somebody else, try to tear them down because you mad at yourself, because you didn't get out there and do what you were supposed to do if you wanting to really do it, chase your dreams like Deion. Like I get tired of hearing that, the wimpy stuff, It's like, man, people get mad at other people because they good at something. That's the thing, just figuring out what you're good at and what you like, Everybody not gonna be good at everything when they can, but just have to figure out what you're good at. But people get mad at other people. And and it comes down to the same thing in school. Little kids get mad at other kids or jealous, whatever, because somebody might be smarter than the other one, not rubbing in their face, they just smarter. So little kids, it's that same school mentality. So, the one who's the real smart one who did really good in class, so the other kids get mad, just like bully the other little kid because they were smart or whatever. It's the same mentality. It's the same thing. They just older. It's that same mentality that carries over from elementary school or whatever, Because they weren't confident in themselves to do good or whatever, but they should not take it out on somebody else. Kim said, it's been like that since Coliseum days around. Yeah, competition. People get jealous. Yeah, it's like, my gosh. Tell me you're not that confident in yourself. You don't feel like you can't step your game up. That should make you want. I would think if you see somebody like that, you really want to put your best foot forward, work hard, train, step your game up, because you can be just as good, but you never know if you don't try, That's what I feel like. That's what it is with a lot of people, they just don't want to try. They want to sit back You know, these keyboard warriors are people who like sit back on their couch and watch the games, but you know, or the people in the stands, you know, they want to sit back and complain, but you know, never, you know what I mean, sit back and just whine. Mm-hmm. But yeah, somebody at work was talking about keyboard warriors. You know, a lot of people are really tough when they're behind the keyboard, but you come, I guarantee you come, or, and here's another thing, the comment section, that's what gets me. I try to stay away from the comment section now because it's always people constantly fighting. Everybody's an expert in the comment section all the time. Everywhere I go, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, when it's something. Everybody, now don't get me wrong, we live in an opinionated world or whatever, but everybody's like an expert now. They know more than this and that, you know, and they talk real tough to each other. But I guarantee you, if you came face to face with half of them, because they talk real tough behind a keyboard, I bet they will fold so fast, you know. The keyboard warriors. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I talk trash on here, but I did it when I was playing sports too, when you're in school or whatever, kickball. I talk trash too. I back it up. I sure could. There wasn't no computers to hide behind back then like it is now. So you can hide behind a keyboard or whatever. Back then, when you talk trash, you said it straight up. You said it to somebody's face. You were talking. You could either back it up or you didn't. You know, if you didn't back it up, you just embarrass yourself. But no, you either bring it, you didn't. You know, like the old days. You know, look at Dr. J and them, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. They could do it. They knew what they had. You know, Larry Bird could talk trash and back it up. Michael too. You know, people they know they can do it. They that good. They can do that. You know, everybody. Now there's people know they're good. They don't have to brag, but you know, you can see they really good. You know, they could be not as trash talking or whatever, but you know they got it. You know, but that's how it is, man. I tell you, boy. But everybody just ain't meant to be good at everything, you know. So Kim, that's what Kim says. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with Kim. It's been like that since yeah, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali could talk and back it up. You know, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My mom said, yeah, that was her champ, Muhammad Ali, you know. And see, this controversial stuff ain't nothing new like with Shedeur and all this stuff, like with athletes, especially like African Americans. Look at Muhammad Ali. I think if I'm not mistaken, Muhammad Ali was the champ. He had the belt, the title heavyweight champion of the world. And I think they wanted him to go fight the war or whatever. He said, hey, that ain't his war. They didn't do nothing to him. I think they stripped him of his title, you know. Back then, so this is nothing new, you know, brothers getting stripped, you know, people just trying to tear brothers down. You know what I mean? Yeah, Dennis Rodman was another good player. He was crazy and he did all that stuff, but he was good. Look at Barry Bonds too, you know. Oh, here's another thing. Let me back it up. Let me go back in the 60s and 70s. Look at Willie Mays. Not Willie Mays, but Hank Aaron. That night, Hank Aaron was playing baseball. That was the night he was going to break Babe Ruth's record. And people were sending death threats and stuff. I was like, man, are you really? But because, you know, Babe Ruth is cool, but, you know, people they don't like change, you know, or somebody, you know, it seems like people of color, whatever. I don't know what it is. They're intimidated. You know, I see it all the time. But look at him. He broke Babe Ruth's record, you know, got death threats and everything. My gosh, it didn't stop him. But I said, man, these people are so involved wanting to take somebody down because a simple sports record or something, you know. They're like their whole life just gonna change. Oh, it's just gonna change every way, the way they live, sleep, eat, and breathe. Some of the soft, I ain't never seen so many soft people in my life, you know. Good. Yeah, Dennis Rodman was good too. Controversy on Dennis, you know. He wearing that dress and stuff. I thought it was creative marketing, you know. It caught people's eyes, but Dennis was being creative, you know, of course, catching people's eyes, but that's what he liked to do. He dyed his hair blonde, all of that. But then Dennis just being himself, you know, having fun. But I tell you what, Michael Jordan, you know, past all the crazy outfits and, you know, the theatrics and stuff, Michael gave Dennis credit. He know Dennis was a great player. He had a great work ethic. He put that work in and stuff. You know, when he came to practice and stuff, no, Dennis didn't mess around. He knew how to compartmentalize stuff, be crazy and do all this and that. But when it's time to put in work, Dennis put it in. He wasn't no slacker. Because Michael said that was a thing where they had to do training, like where they had to judge, like it's like whoever was in the front or whatever, and whoever was leading, everybody had to follow. It was something like that in training camp. But Michael got mad at Dennis because Dennis was killing everybody in training camp when Phil had to make them do it laps. It was some kind of game they played, and Dennis was beating all of them in it, you know. But yeah, I tell you, it's crazy. Hey, what's up, KT Shaz? How you doing now? I appreciate everybody coming in, hit the like button. And share my stream out if you can. Hey, y'all should go check out my new videos I got. So now I've been cranking out. Thanks to Coach Marlene, I finally figured out my little techniques. I put out. So now I'm putting out 2 regular videos, and I do my shorts every day. I got shorts on my Shedeur Sanders channel and my Chef Shannon channel as well. Chef Shannon and Friends channel. So my shorts come out every day on both channels. I got to upload some more, and I'm coming out with videos twice a week now. They come out on Wednesdays and Fridays. So the videos, my videos are racking up. I got to edit a video and get it ready for Friday. But I like how this routine is going. And something's different now. Something is working. It sure is. The stuff is starting now. Yeah, how's the Chiefs? I'm not sure, man. But I know I'm tired to hear about the Cleveland Browns. You know, the raggedy Cleveland Browns. Yeah. Joe Flacco. Kenny Pickett ain't he threw a ball, bat, blew a whistle, a flute, or nothing. And he's second on the depth chart, and Shedeur is 4th. You know, that's just how they do. You know, I want to see it backfire on the Cleveland Browns. I want to see it hit them back right in their face, smack them hard. Yeah, I know. Forget the Cleveland Browns. I feel the same way too, man. Yeah. Got that raggedy coach in there, the owner. The only one who's really rooting for, I think they said, Joe Flacco. I'll take Joe Flacco back. I think Joe Flacco is actually rooting for Shedeur. Him and Andrew Berry, because they showed the close-up during the game when Shedeur played, the Browns played against the Panthers. He came over and talked to him. You know, he was saying he was cool. He was kind of, you know, glad with Shedeur playing, you know, but he still give him some pointers. You can't, Shedeur ain't going to come out being no Super Bowl champ out the gate first games. He's a rookie. You know, but he's doing a whole lot better than Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel flopped. He didn't do that good. He didn't do as good as Shedeur did. And Shedeur was killing it with the second and third teams or whatever. And Dillon Gabriel had the first teams. You know, it's like, see, that show you right there. But, you know, everybody, I guess Dillon Gabriel's supposed to be the golden boy, the one they want to pick. I think what Cleveland is doing, I think they realized they done screwed up. So now they're trying to cover their tracks or whatever. But it's coming out. Everybody's starting to see how everything is coming out now, you know? Yeah, I agree, man. Forget Cleveland Browns. I'm a Shedeur fan. You know, I wish they just ship them off, send them to Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers, send them to the Jacksonville Jaguars with his boy Travis so they can get down and go win some Super Bowls at Jacksonville, or send them to, send them somewhere else. Send them to the Carolina Panthers. He's going to hang out with his buddy Jimmy Horn Jr., or Green Bay Packers with his boy Will Shepherd out there, or the Baltimore Ravens with LaJohntay Weston. He ran an 87-yard punt return on the Colts out the gate for preseason. So Deion boys are doing good, and see that's a really good marketing, showing his players. A couple of them went undrafted. Shiloh went undrafted. I think Will did, but LaJohntay didn't go undrafted. The Ravens picked him, but it's like 6. It's Shedeur, Shiloh, LaJohntay Weston, Will Shepherd, Jimmy Horn Jr. It's another player, 6. I think it's like 7 players altogether that came from Colorado. You know, 7 players from Colorado. But no, you won't hear about the good, Deion Sanders players because it's Deion and a brother up in there doing good for the team. No, they want to find which way to tear him down the best they can. Don't do no wrong. No, he don't do no wrong, nothing. But that probably make them even more mad. So they got. It's all about a narrative. It seems like to me, it's always about a narrative. they got to put up a story, make something, fabricate something, so it make them look good and tear somebody else down, because they got to hide behind their pen. They can't sit. And see, Dion called out a lot of reporters on stuff too when they came time face to face. He'd call them straight out, But they like to sneak and do stuff. They can't be man to man, say it straight to his face. They gotta like them keyboard warriors. They like pencil pushers, pencil warriors, what you want to call it. They want to hide behind the pen and paper. I tell you, man, I never seen so many wimps. See, maybe that's why some people become reporters, because they weren't good as athletes or whatever. They weren't tough enough. Look at Jason Whitlock. Dion's first season in Colorado, he was dogging them, saying everything under the book. And I looked at Jason Whitlock, his big butt went to Warren Central High School. I guess he wasn't good, and went to Ball State. He wasn't much of an athlete at all, but no, he wants to tear Dion down for everything. I mean, look at him. It's just all jealousy, because Warren Central was on the show one time, saying, "Do you got a thing for Dion or something?" You jealousy. He won't flat out say it, but his actions say it right there. Look at him. Look up Jason Whitlock and just look at him. He ain't no athlete. Well, I'm surprised when he said football. Really, you play football? Looking at you, the way you look, you really play football? He played water boy. That's what he said. He was a water. Might have well been a water boy. Look the way he looking. Trying to look cool, but find everything to tear Dion. But I understand. Don't get me wrong. Now reporters got to report stuff as well. But a lot of them, the stuff, they just straight up keep coming out. But that's okay. But in the end, it still ain't gonna matter, because Dion, Shedeur, and all of them, they still gonna keep doing their thing. But it just sucks. Just keep hearing them barking like little dogs, like they like little poodles. They're not happy unless they barking about something. Just give them a little treat and they shut up. So controversies like their treat. They little poodles. They ain't gonna start barking until you give them a treat. So they need something controversial with them to make them shut up, because that's just what they do. Look at the paparazzi. I still can't get over. The first time I remember something being big with the paparazzi was with Princess Diana back in '97. I still wonder, was that a setup or something, because she was in the Mercedes or whatever, and it was a crash. I still kind of wonder about that, like the paparazzi or whatever, the way it went down. It was a car crash. I kind of wonder, was that a setup or whatever? I don't know, but Princess Diana, I think it was sad though, And that's another thing. It's like when people are doing good things, there's always somebody there in the cut. It seems like set them up and take them down. Like look at Bob Marley. He was about peace, wanting to bring people together, and of course, the man don't like that. People coming together, be as one or whatever. Peace and unity. No, they try to keep people divided, so you can keep having all this controversy and negativity, keep people fighting that war at one another. That's what it's all about. And I tell people too, look at this world. I say it's like there's God's army and there's the devil's army, and the way the world's screwed up because of the stuff, because of the devil. If you look it up in the Bible, there's the war in heaven, and it talks about how they were going at it. It was a real throwdown, a war in heaven, and the devil wanted to take over God's place. He thought he was God. Now I'm trying to think, how can you take God's place? He created you, he made you, But it's like when God kicked him out of heaven. Even Jesus said it was like a flash of lightning when he kicked him out of heaven. The war in heaven. So that's why the world's screwed up the way it is now, because of him. And then plus, I'm telling you, the Bible. Like I'm so glad my grandma really explained this stuff. A lot of this stuff. It's like it's like this stuff. With the Bible, and like the Nephilims, they are results. The giants are results of the women having sex with the angels. That's why Goliath, all of them are a result of that. And that's why I told my boy Gravy, I said that's why the world was flooded. Basically, God had to hit reset. To take, because the giants were destroying, taking over the world, taking people out, and it was to take them out, take the giants. So he had to flood the world, in order to wipe them out. I think some of them still might have survived a little bit, but the ones who died or whatever. So I think that's where demons come from. They come from the Nephilims, the giants. So, all they want to do is destroy, you know? And it's like, it's because of all of that stuff, why there's a lot of stuff the way it is. Because of all of them screwballs. And my thing is, what bugs me, I see this all the time when I read and listen to stuff about the Bible. What bugs me, it's like, as smart as the devil is, and the angels who were dumb enough, yeah, they got like a zillion IQ. I got a trillion IQ up there, and was still, that show you, even at that level, you still can screw up, It's like, man, as smart as you are, you were really dumb, And they fell for it. They took the bait, and they all got kicked out. And that's why everything is going down the way it is. Let me see what Kim's saying. Yeah, Kim said, I cried when I found out Princess, Diana died. Just like I knew her because how caring. Yeah, she was. And Kim said, Shaq ancestors made it through the flood. Yeah, that explains us. That's why it's probably a lot of tall people because of that. But that wasn't supposed to happen. Angels and humans are not supposed to be doing that, and they broke the rules. They were like the watchers or whatever. And so that's why I explained why you see Goliath and all in the ain't because of, and like the angels were giving out secrets to it. They weren't supposed to be doing that. So I think them boys gonna pay. I think they right now they bound or whatever. Basically, they like in jail. God put them in jail, Sure did. He put them in jail. They locked down what they did. And I think, and because of the way war and the weapons and stuff, because the angel taught man how to make swords and stuff, gave a lot of secrets away. And that, I'm telling you. And so basically, what the angels did and the devil did is unforgivable, And what makes sense, like, because think about it. If God would have gave the devil and them a second chance and forgave him, they probably would have lied to, okay, I'm sorry, repent, whatever. And that would give him a second chance to re-up and reconfigure his game plan and try to come up with something smarter. God wasn't playing that game. He kicked him out. No, you screwed. You, first of all, you big enough to be big and bold enough to do that. You think I'm gonna give you a second chance up in my house? You ain't rolling back and you ain't doing that again. I tell you what, I would slap them all on the head. They just dummy. They are, man. It's like, and like the devil, his name was Lucifer. He was like his greatest creation. He made him perfect in every form, all the gems, and he's made of his outfit, his skin and stuff. It's like screwed it all up, and only got nobody to blame but himself. And see, that's why the news and the way the world is so screwed up now. Because if you think about it, I mean, this is the way my opinion, where I see it, is like the devil already know he's going down. So he's trying to take everybody and their mama down with him because he done screwed up. So he might as well try to see who all he can take down with him. It's like misery loves company, So they all, they already know they done with. So they know their day is coming and the clock is ticking too. And it's like, it's crazy, man. That's why the world the way it is, because they done screwed it up and everything. It's like, oh, man. Thanks to them. That's why the world the way it is now. But over all that, past all that, God has sovereign control over everything. Even the devil has boundaries and limits. They can't just up and do stuff. I think they have to have permission or whatever, but there are still boundaries to do stuff, Like there's a story with Job. The devil wanted to call him out. So he went to God and said, with all his blessings, you take all that away. He was saying Job would turn on him, so they had to do it. He had to do a thing and let, he said basically you do whatever you want to him. Just you can't kill him. You can do whatever you want. You just can't kill him. And this was a test of Job's faith. Job came through and everything still, and God re-blessed him with more kids, more mules and farm. And everything was triple, quadruple, and then what he had before, because God blessed him, because he stayed faithful, But I'm telling you, man, if you read your Bible and stuff, and there's a guy I talked to at work we talk about Bible stuff all the time, but explain and make so much sense why the stuff the way this is, like my grandma said, and I see it too. While little kids now, they getting younger and younger, they turning on their parents, and you see more stuff in the news, bad news with kids doing this and that. It's like, man, it makes sense. And I'm not really surprised because he trying to take everybody with him. And it's scary. It's like, yeah, and the devil, I can't see him wanting to repent or whatever, because I actually Googled it too. I said, had the devil and the other angels try to repent or whatever, but no, they just want destruction. They want to take over the world. And yeah. Oh, and I was listening to a story. I don't know. It might be in the Bible. I've seen it's the thing I go to on YouTube. Explain stuff in the Bible, like saying when Noah built that ark, the giants knew what Noah was up to, something from God, a command from God. And so when that flood, when he was building that stuff, so God had to send an angel to protect Noah so he could build this ark, because the giants saw what Noah was up to. They know that he was doing something for God. So he had to send an angel down to stop him so they wouldn't mess with him, And, God sent one of his angels against them giants. Them giants ain't going to take that angel down. It could be 50 of y'all. He'll take every last one of them down. I had to tell Gregory there was a story where God sent an angel down. I think the angel took out like 180,000 soldiers, Assyrian soldiers. Now the Syrians were like, now the Syrians were like supposed to be like the baddest, meanest army out there. They like the top dog at the time or whatever, But God sent an angel down and took them all out overnight. I told Gravy that's it. It's a true story. I looked it up. He took sent an angel down and wiped them all out. Wiped them all out. 185,000 soldiers. And these are Syrians, the baddest one. That just show you, God, I don't care how big of a big dog you think you are. It still matter. God can just crush you just like that. It was split second with his mouth. Boom. At the command. Just like that. Jesus too, Because, the devil came at Jesus plenty of times in the Bible, I'll tell you, because Jesus, the devil that came at Jesus plenty of times. He called him like when Jesus was in the desert, for 40 days and 40 nights, he tried to catch him at his weakest point. What gets me is he's so big and bold. He said, if you do this, I'll give you the world. Are you serious? He trying to catch it. Give me what? You ain't giving me nothing. But his dad, God built this. This is his. Hey, you ain't got to trying to sweet talk him, man. It's just too funny. But it shows you evil don't care. Evil won't stop at nothing till everything is nothing left. But that's where we at. But it's a lot of cool stories in the Bible. It really is. But yeah, if you get a chance, but yeah, I'm always reading. I even got that Bible app on my phone. I look at every day and I get those alerts. It alerts me of new quotes and new sayings and stuff from the Bible. And it's got like different versions. Cause my buddy at work, he was showing me, he got that same app and he can break it down like the different versions, King James or whatever, and translate. It's really cool, that Bible app. Cause that's on my phone. That's the very first app on my phone. It's the first one before any app is that Bible app on my phone, the Bible app, But yeah, the Bible is really cool. It's a lot of cool stuff in there, cool stories. Like I say, tell you about Job, Noah's Ark, everything, It talks about Enoch, how close Enoch was to God and everything, how God let him see heaven, how he called the chariots up, So Enoch never saw death, but he took him up, It was Enoch and Elijah. The Bible got some of the coolest stuff. And matter of fact, I saw there's a part where there was it Enoch or Elijah who was running, was actually had super speed like the Flash. He had real human super speed. To run like the Flash for real. It's for real. I was like, man. But it was given by God. And look at Samson. Samson was born with super strength. His strength was in his hair because if you cut it, he would lose his strength. That was the catch to it. He was that was given to him by God, And of course, the story of Samson and Delilah, she kept working and working and working on, and finally what was his secret she finally wore him down, and once he told him, it's his hair, she cut his hair, and that messed him up, And then they just, they ambushed him, and then they took his sight from him, stabbed him in his eyes or whatever, and got him. He only had regular strength, but he asked God to just. Oh, it was Elijah. Okay, yeah, Elijah. I thought it was Enoch, but Elijah. Hey Kim, so is it true? I keep reading this, and I keep seeing like online the YouTube site I go to. It was saying, I think it was Elijah, or whatever. When God took him up, whatever, he transformed him into an angel because he was so close. He was so close to God and everything. Did he get transformed into an angel or something? He was converted. Now I don't know if it's true. See, there's a lot of stuff I'm still sifting through, trying to sort out and figure. Because I got the Bible app, and that site that I go to on YouTube, I listen because they say stuff from the Bible, so I go back and find and read stuff for myself. Like there was a dispute over Moses' body as well. The devil wanted Moses' body, and but God had to send Michael, the archangel, down to defend Moses' body, because what the devil was trying to do, he was trying to use the devil's body as a way. As a play, and to make people worship Moses over God and make them forget about God and start worshiping Moses, like like when Moses went up to the mountain and with God, so the people got impatient, they needed something to worship. So what they did was they created that gold calf, which was like wrong to do, and like in the movie, Moses come down through those tablets, which was wrong. What's the idolatry? Yeah. Worshiping something that's not real. Let me see, Kim. Kim says, I never read that anyone was transformed into an angel. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out how much stuff is real and what ain't real too, And see, that's another thing too. I was listening. I listened to Digital Grace Network on YouTube. And the guy was explaining, or one of them, somebody explaining something. So you have to be careful what you be reading too, because from what some people write in the Bible book or whatever, it's like it could be misinformation or whatever, and then the lines can start getting blurry or whatever. Kim said no, Moses went with God when he died because God would not let him into the. Yeah, because Moses screwed up. Moses screwed up on that. Yeah, the Jordan, he would let him go into the promised land. Was it Jordan? Because Moses disobeyed God. Because I think what it was, people, they were out in the desert and they needed water. So I think God told him to, did he say tap the rock with your staff? I think Moses slammed it or whatever. And I think because he disobeyed God, so he punished him for that. I think that's the way that go. If I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Kim? So Moses disobeyed God, and so because of that result, he couldn't go to the promised land. He disobeyed him. He didn't do it the way he told him to. He told him either whisper to the rock or tap it or something so water can come out. Even though Moses, he didn't follow God's command right, the water still came out of the rock, or wherever it came out, and it got the people water. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I tell you, man, that Bible got so much stuff in there, And it just explained, it's like looking at sports. How, Moses got upset and he was punished for it. Yeah, because he had a hard head. But God, I guess he still was cool. I mean, he wasn't cool with it, but he punished him. But he did. Hey Kim, but then he let Moses just have a peek of it though. He couldn't cross the line over to Jordan. He just let him peek. See what all he missed out on because of having a hard head. They said, all right, at least let you see this much, but you can't cross that line. Yeah, I'll let you see it, but you ain't you ain't going over there. No, you blew it. You blew it, homie. Yeah, Moses got upset and got punished for it. But yeah, Kim, I was looking it up. I actually Googled that about that. So that's not true about the and like they were saying. From what I'm trying to see, I've been really researching this, trying to see how true this is. They're saying that God personally buried Moses' body himself, and they said to this day nobody know where Moses' body is at. So I'm trying to figure out sorting this out. Yeah, I Googled it and I was searching. It's like, man, I keep seeing it pop up, you know, about that dispute. But you saying, so let me say, so you said, so Cam says, no, Moses went with God when he died because God would not let him enter the promised land. And so, you know, I know you helped me straighten out what the idolatry means, putting anything before God, which makes sense because the people made that gold calf, so they was putting that before God, you know, something that's fake, not real, you know, that's not going to bring miracles and stuff, you know. That calf wasn't going to do nothing. That's just made of gold, something they made up, you know, which is not real. I mean, the calf and gold was real, but they were worshiping something that wasn't real, that was false, you know. A false God or whatever that wasn't real versus the real God, you know. Oh, somebody, I think I was talking to my buddy at work. He was saying that fight with Goliath and David, the fight was unfair from what I was listening to. Cause he was saying like that big ball pepper that David had was like a caliber gun, like a caliber. And he was saying Goliath, the giant, since they were, you know, made women on earth and angels, giants couldn't see up close. They had trouble seeing up close with their vision or something. And so Goliath couldn't see David swinging that big, like that big caliber ball swinging. It was like a caliber, you know, from a gun, a caliber. He's swinging that big thing that was able to knock him out, you know, take him out. From what that story I was hearing somebody saying from from one of those TED Talks or whatever. Mm-hmm. Overdue. Yep. Yeah. So there's archangels. There's Michael. There's Gabriel. There's a few other angels, but Michael is the leader of the angel armies. David had five smooth rocks. Okay. David had five smooth rocks. So I know he took Goliath's head and he brought it back as proof that he beat Goliath too, right? And Goliath had a brother too, if I'm not mistaken, right? Didn't Goliath have a brother? Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. David had five smooth rocks. David, okay, yeah, he did bring his head back. Yeah, as a proof that he took him down. Because once he killed him or whatever, he cut his head off and brought it back as proof. I know there was a big old head to carry back. You imagine carrying a big old head that big back? Oh Lord, he had to put it on a cart or something, you know, a shopping cart, one of them Kroger carts, wood carts they had back then. Mm-hmm. The carts, put on a big old wood cart and roll it on back. And see, that's the thing too. Exactly how big was Goliath? I've been trying to research it. You know, maybe it sounded like a giant. Maybe he was like 6'9". See, in that time, if somebody was tall like that, would be considered a giant. But nowadays, somebody 6'9", I guess it's tall, but you don't really see it as a giant. Like compared to people, you see like 7 feet, 6, 7, 8, this and that. You know, so maybe at that time, being that big, I guess the average person, as a person height wasn't, they were really small and short or whatever. But so I guess Goliath, by seeing much bigger. I mean, maybe his height, what would seem normal today might have seemed really big back then. I guess. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, there's so many stories. There's so many. Ooh. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. Ba-dum. But yeah, the world's just crazy. It's just crazy. I have to say my prayers every day. Yeah, I sure do. I say my prayers every day, man, because you never know. As you know. Look for protection, you know. David and Goliath. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, it's so many. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Like what's the three? Meshach, Abednego. I can't get their names right. There's three of them. They were put into that furnace, you know, and their faith being strong as it is, you know, trusting God, you know, God with them. They put they put them in the furnace, and they never burned, not singe, no nothing. They clothes, no smell or nothing. They came out in the furnace in the fire, never burned, not 1 second. Meshach. Instead of asking Google, yeah, I need to get me an actual Bible, read about the Bible, the battle of Goliath, that's what I need to do. I want to get I do the Google, but I need to actually get books, which I'm gonna do, get me one so I can read it for myself, because it's the internet and so much stuff, you know what to trust. I just take like anything else, I take it with a grain of salt and I go research it for myself. That's what I learned from my teacher, Mr. Richardson. He said, like, listen to somebody or whatever they said, believe like 1/3 of what they say, and then go research it and find out for yourself. And that's the best way to do it. You go look for yourself. You take what they have and listen to it, and then you go search for yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, Kim was right about that. Yeah, compared with So that was the thing when I was in school trying to figure out. I remember I used to ask my teacher, Mr. Richardson, how you know what's true. He said, just keep looking, find this, line this information on this, and see, just keep looking and looking and see if everything lines up. If everybody's saying the same thing, about researching information, you know. Yeah, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. My spelling may not be right, but yeah, they were the three in the furnace, and people put them in the furnace to burn them. They came out with untouched, no stench, no smoke, nothing. They came out perfect. Bam. I said, how real is that? How real is that? Got put in the furnace. Because, second the fire even go, woo, you start feeling it. It's getting hot in here. They they did not burn, not once. But the people that opened that door for them got burned. Oh, burned up. Oh, okay, yeah. Cause they sitting there trying to figure out how they sitting there and not burning. Well, they got burned up. That it backfired on them. That's right. They make them pay for it. Setting people on fire. Oh, what's wrong with y'all, man? But that's the thing in the Bible. Is like so many people. I tell some people, Jesus could have easily came down that cross. Now, see, when I was young, I used to feel bad for Jesus. I was like, wow, they just beating him up, throwing rocks, doing all this stuff to him, hanging him on a cross. It's like he can't fight back. It's like, man, you don't know how to fight back or whatever. And then, I had a conversation with a older guy. He's like around the age of my dad, but he passed away a few years ago. But it was like we had this conversation like back in 2017. I remember it clear. It was 2017. I said, couldn't Jesus have fought back or something? But he said Jesus wasn't that kind of person. Now, Jesus, now I go back, now I research and I see more. Jesus wasn't weak. He wasn't a punk. Not anything, nothing like that at all. He wasn't weak or nothing. Jesus was being obedient because that had to be done. He was following orders from God, his dad. Son being obedient to his father. He was being obedient. He prayed. He didn't want to do it, but it had to be done. He had just, do it. He had to go ahead and just do it. Because he was following orders, following command, he was obedient. He didn't want to do it. But now if Jesus wanted to, Jesus could have commanded the angels to come down and rip everything up, Jesus could easily call the army of angels, they all on the same team. He could have called them angels come down and whooped everybody up for that. And the people who did that to him, he could, but then that would have defeated the purpose of him going through all of that, going through all of that on the cross and everything, that would have defeated the purpose of all that they done, but that had to be done, Kim said that was a fourth person was recorded to be in there. Oh, okay. But yeah, Jesus could have commanded the legions of angels to come down, and they could have came down and wiped this whole world out. They could have came down here and cleaned house, everything, all the stuff they did to him, but couldn't do it. Yep, that would he would have been disobeying his disobeying God and everything, but no. Yep. But I think I was reading it right or hearing it right. When Jesus do come back, he ain't coming back in his earth form. He coming back in his real superhero look. All them games are over with. He coming back. He gonna show you the real deal, who he really is. Ain't no more of this on the cross. He gonna come back. He gonna come back and clean house. Kim said Jesus told them, "You would have no power over me unless God, my Father, gave it to them." Yeah. Oh yeah. Ain't nobody can't do nothing to Jesus. That's Jesus. You think you can't just walk, roll up on him. Oh my God. I mean, but that stuff had to be done in the Bible, But now, I bet you couldn't. Now that's all over with. That's over. I bet you couldn't roll up now or roll up on him and do that stuff. Boy, Jesus whoop you. Jesus will whoop you right up. Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. I think I was explaining to Gravy when Jesus on the cross when he died. Where did he go to? He went down to hell. He went to hell and he freed up some people, went down there. And Kim was telling me this too. I was like, man, I think that's what, Kim was explaining it to me. So in them 3 days while he died on the cross, his spirit, he went down to hell and freed some people from down there or whatever. I was like, what? Jesus went down to hell free? I was like, man. So Jesus had to be a real bad one, badder than bad, bolder than bold. Go down there, what do you think about it? That's Jesus. Who gonna do something? I mean, they could roll up on him, but they can try all day. Jesus will knock them all right out the box, knock them all out the ring. No, that's Jesus. Yeah, Jesus ain't nothing to play with. I'm serious. Jesus knocked them all out the box, like they say back in the 80s, knock them out the box. Jesus would have knocked them all out the box. I don't care how many people are down there. Jesus would. It'd been like a Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. Jesus was being Patrick Swayze. He whooped them all up at the bar. They roll up on him. All the cross stuff, all that stuff is over with now. Now you see the real Jesus. He gonna really show you what he can do now. He done did his thing. He done got that over with, the bad stuff. Now he ready to beat them down. He could beat some people down now. Yeah. Jesus going Roadhouse on people down there in hell. I was like, wow, you know how bad Jesus is? He roll up in there by himself and clean house. Ain't nobody gonna, hey, go ahead. See what happened. You might make it back. I mean, you roll up on Jesus. Try to roll up on Jesus. Boy, Jesus. Like Kim said, the only way you can do is something if his father gave somebody power, but man, why would he do that? That's his only son now. They a team, father and son. And God know that's his son. He know his son gonna do it. His son know what time it is. That's his son. Ain't gonna be no doubt in his son. Did he? Nope. They on the same team. That's his son. His son know what time it is. That's Jesus. Yeah. Roll up on Jesus if you want to. He'll send you right back. Easily. Yeah, ain't no more of that cross stuff, like making it look like it's poor me people beating them up, throwing rocks. That stuff over with. Mm-mm. Ain't no more of that. Jesus get right back at you too. Ooh, I tell you what. Yeah, people always talking about they OGs, they real bad, big and bad, you know. Hey, what's up, Gravy? Yeah, nice hat. My 4th of July hat. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, you know, yeah, Jesus don't play, boy. He ain't nothing to play with. Jesus ain't nothing to mess with. That's right. Ain't that funky? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. Remember Satan, yeah, and the demons. Yeah, Jesus went to that island, and that man, he was crazy. It wasn't no mental illness in the physical. The demons had possessed him, you know. Yeah, the demons trembled at his feet. His name, the legion of demons that possessed that one man, begged Jesus to send. Yeah. And yeah, so they begged to be sent into the pigs because I was listening. If this is right, if this information is right, the Nephilims with the demons, you know, the results of the women and the angels' babies, or the Nephilims, the giants, became the demons, and they would possess the man by they possessed him. Then they asked Jesus, could they take the pigs away? Because what he was saying, like the pigs were dirty, unclean, or whatever. So the spirits, the demons, whatever, need somewhere to as a host somewhere where it's dirty and unclean, but you know, because like they feel naked or weak or whatever without being taking over somebody's body, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever. And so then the pigs, Jesus let all the pigs, let the demons take over in the pig's body. They ran into the ocean, you know, because the pigs are rather been dead and being possessed by the demons. So they ran into the ocean or whatever, and they all drowned or whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. Because they did that same thing to that man. But yeah, the second Jesus spoke to him, Kim says, no, there have always been demons. There are nothing but demons. There are nothing but fallen angels. So the demons, so the Nephilims couldn't be demons as well. I mean, cause that's what I was trying to figure out. I was trying to sort this out from that story. The guy was saying the Nephilims were the demons. I'm like, wait, but I thought the fallen angels. Oh, it's so much. And that's the thing. I need to get the book because it's too much confusion. I'm trying to sort this stuff out. I'm listening and taking it in, but yeah, I need to get that book so I can go and really read, go in there and dig for myself, like you said, and find out. But you know, you know, there's always been demons. Google it. Yeah, yeah, I Googled it, but now I need to really get a real book because Google don't have all the right answers, and you know, you have to actually go and research this stuff. You know, Kim says there is an angelic class. There are holy angels and fallen angels. Yeah, because the fallen angels are the ones from the war in heaven who got kicked out the devil's army. So as a result, they didn't fallen angels. They fallen. They fell out of heaven. They can never come back either. I think, is this right? Now, did I hear this right, Kim? It's unforgiving. You're angel, so it's unforgivable for what the angels did. So like humans can be forgiven, but the angels can't. Right? Is that right? Like the devil can't be forgiven for what he did. He done did too much. He know he done with. That's why he keep. That's why is, you know, things are the way they are. You know. Yeah, I know there's angelic clash. I know there's the archangels. I know there's the archangels. It's Michael, Gabriel, and some other ones too. Gabriel's a messenger, but Gabriel, you know, I know it's different classes. Yeah, angels. Mm-hmm. There are holy angels. There are fallen angels. Yeah, amazing. All of them fell for that for the devil. You know. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. And the sad part is, you know, God trusted him and everything, and he turned on him. Like one of his kids, like his children, turned on him. I know that hurt, but he had to kick him out because they can't give you another chance. Mm-mm. You know, you got to go. It sucked, but hey, you did it. You did. They did it to themselves. So now, I honestly believe they mad at themselves. Now and then they got kicked out. You know, and they know they'll never be back there ever again. So they really try to take it on any and everybody now. Destruction. That's why the world is now destruction. So they lashing out like big crybabies because they got mad because they got their little butt spanked. So now they mad taking it out on everybody in this world. That's why it is. So they're a bunch of big crybabies, you know. As big as you are and all that, you screwed up. You can't take it. So now you crying. The fallen angels. Yeah. It's weak. Yep. That's the way it is, man. Kim says, God the Father gave his only begotten Son to pay the price for our sins. That's why we can be forgiven. Yeah, okay. I have no information on the fallen angels. I do know that Christ gave for us. Yeah. Patrick says, man, we still have a bunch of crybabies. Yeah, I tell you, man, I believe them fallen angels are crybabies. Yeah. But it's too late. Ain't no coming back after all the stuff they done did, you know, and have the nerve, the gall to start a fight up there in heaven. Well, they thought they were that big and bad. But yeah, they did it to themselves. They can only blame themselves for what they did. It's crazy, man. It's like, wow. And see, that's the thing is, see, God gave us all free will, even the angels. And see, that's the thing. The angels are right there with him by his side. And that's the thing about it. The crazy part is they there with God all the time. So they should know better, way better. They should know better, you know. Yeah, they believe Lucifer was a mistake. Yeah, but yeah, and see what happened. I'm serious. It's like you that smart as you got like a zillion IQ. You mean tell me you was sucker enough to believe that? Oh my gosh. But hey, they believe what they want to believe. That's on you. And that's the thing too. They fully understand what they were doing too. You know, they weren't forced to do it. They just believe it. You know, it's like they didn't think for themselves. They paid the ultimate price too for that mistake. That's like the ultimate mistake. Wow, man. You know. Greg would say, yeah, it should be the Browns trade Sanders. Hey, man, I agree. They need to trade him. I'm tired of all of the bull jive, man. Yeah, they need to trade Shedeur. Let him go. I don't care. I'll see it. Hey, I'll take it. Shedeur going to the Colts. I sure will. I'll root for the Colts. They send him to the Colts. I will root for the Colts 100%. I will get the jerseys and everything. Yeah. Kim said, why not look at what happened on November 5th? What you mean? Why not look at what happened on what you mean, why not? Many people get misled. Many people get misled, some did not. Yeah. Many people got misled, some did not. Yeah, but it's like it's crazy. It just boggles me, you know. You said you didn't know how so many angels or people were fooled. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I can believe they were fooled, but I mean, wouldn't it be something there like this just don't feel right or seem right? But yeah, it's so believable that they fell in the trap, you know. Oh, oh, I see what you're saying, Kim. I got you. I got you. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. I can see what you're saying. It's so believable. It's so prettied up and dolled up. It smells so good. It fell right in the trap. It's a traps. There's traps everywhere. Yeah, yeah. A lot of stuff happened, but we're all sensitive people. Dun, dun. Mm. Yeah, it's like the world's crazy. And I believe what my uncle said too about the world is America is war. He explained, it's crazy how he explained that to me. I think I had to be in high school when he explained that to me. Yeah, and I see it more. I see it all the time, full blown too. Yeah, yep, I see it full blown. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, you know. But I know too. Also, God's in control of this whole world, so He allowed a lot of stuff to happen as part of the plan. He let stuff happen. Mm-hmm. Because God is in control of everything. It might not look like it, but He is. Despite all the stuff that you see, but God is still in control. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. If you like pina coladas, dun dun dun. Mm, mm. If you like pina coladas, dun dun dun. Mm, mm. If you like pina coladas, mm. We're all sensitive people. Mm. AI logo. Mm, 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 mm. Dun 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 dun. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Oh, Kim said I watched the third episode. Okay, yeah, I gotta catch up. I gotta try to catch by. I've been too busy working on my videos. It's like I try to see some stuff I can, but I've really been in on the zone on my channel and stuff. I really been putting in some serious work. Getting it in too. I just released my video today. I dropped it. Oh, you know what? I finally figured out which I should have did. There's this chart you can look on YouTube. It'll tell you in your analytics or whatever. It'll show you for people looking at your videos when they come on, your YouTubers looking at your stuff when the highest times, like the times like it's purple, you'll see like dark purple, light purple, and bright purple, showing that most times when they're active or watching YouTube. And I saw it, so I need to start releasing. I went back and looked at that my depth chart, the consistent time when to drop my video and the days that, because I like dropping my video on Wednesdays and Fridays, so I can drop it on. And I saw the time frame, the time where it's consistent every day, Sunday through Saturday, every day. So I need to start dropping my videos, my regular videos on those days. I can do it on Wednesday and Friday, and I'm gonna go and start experimenting and dropping it on those times that they're most active on there. Yeah. So they more active like in the noon, between noon and 6 somewhere. And I saw, but Marlene really helped me too, Kim, because I told I'm getting back into my Funkos, and she gave me those pointers and those tips. I've been sticking to it, and like scheduling videos. I schedule all my videos now. I got them recorded. I got to finish uploading some more. Schedule some videos. My Chef Shannon channel, I'm scheduled up to September 2nd on my Chef Shannon channel. I got to get busy, upload some more after I'm done streaming and stuff, edit my video, and get that done and get it ready for Friday, and upload some more on my Sure Shannon channel. Kim says, yeah, I like Friday and Sunday. I'm lazy about it. About it now, though. Yeah. Hey, I got to get my team build stuff straightened out. And when I get back in team build, it's going to be game on. But yeah, because that depth, I was looking at my chart. It was showing, I can do every day, but it was showing the strongest points. Like I looked at the one consistent time that's straight on from Sunday to Saturday. So I'm gonna start dropping it on that time frame on Wednesdays and Fridays and still see it and start experimenting. Because my last video, Hey, Kim, here's the crazy thing. And I started figuring out, I don't know what happened. I figured out, you know, seeing how people do their thumbnails, you know, I said, I really need to start pumping up my thumbnails. Because that's the thing, too. That thumbnail. If that thumbnail looks good, it'll catch people's eye. And so my video, so I started a couple of weeks ago playing around. Because I started doing this Thrill Joy stuff. And I started playing around with my thumbnails. And I said, you know what? I need to get back and like looking at my old videos. It's like I kind of been doing it, but it's like it's really, really clicking. And so my last video, it's still going up. I can't believe it. Yeah, I did a video on Scott Pilgrim, Thrill Joy. Here it is. Since we had, hey, here's my buddy Scott Pilgrim, Thrill Joy. It's basically Brian Mariotto, Brian from who owned Funko for 20 years. His buddy Mike Becker, the founder and creator of Funko, they're buddies. He sold it to Brian. So Brian stepped down like a year ago, and he created Thrill Joy. He snuck off and created Thrill Joy. So basically, this is the same thing. This is a Funko Pop box. It's a Funko Pop box. If you look at it, it's just like Funko Pop box extra large. See, like here's Goku. Here's the regular size Funko Pop box, and the Thrill Joy is so much bigger. It's the same. I looked at it. It's the same box. It's just extra large in the design, but in the little window and like how they stamped the little seal, wax seal and stuff. But I love it. So these Thrill Joys are really fun. You're my joy. You mean so much to me. And I just recently I did my Jason video. That's the one that's up now. I uploaded. It came up today. And so here's Jason, the Thrill Joy. These things are really cool. I love them. I love them to death. The Thrill Joys. You're my joy. You mean so much. Kim was saying, Marlene has been doing what she told you to do for quite a while. Marlene has been doing what she told you. Yeah, so you're talking about the horizontal video. Yeah, the horizontal. Yeah, my regular thumbnail for my regular videos, not the shorts. The shorts, you know, vertical portrait style, but the regular videos, landscape, left to right, wide, yeah, horizontal. Yeah. Kim said, "Oh, I'm going to come over." Hey, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but check that Thrill Joy. I cannot believe that video, that Scott Pilgrim. I think it's my thumbnail too, because you know, I actually sat there, you know, the crazy stuff I do when I'm making those memes and stickers. I said I need to start really translating it into my thumbnail. And you know, I told Jennifer, I said, the way I look at that thumbnail, I mean, I really just sat here and looked at it. I said, I need to treat it like, you know how people have those, like in New York, those fashion stores, and they had those display windows, and it made me think about the movie Mannequin. You know, I didn't get it when I was little. You know, the lady decorating the window, and then people are loving it because they decorated. I said it's the same exact, you know, same kind of technique or method. I look at my thumbnail as a window, display window. So I want to make it look the best I can, do stuff to make it jump, you know, like a fashion window, like they do at Fashion Avenue or whatever, Fifth Avenue. They're trying to get people's attention. I said, that's that same technique I saw that. It just made me think about it. Why don't I do it the same way? It's the same thing because the window is wide or whatever. And my thumbnail is wide. It's the same thing, just on a smaller scale. It's a display window, you know, fashion or whatever you want to call it. And then it started clicking. I said, what? Uh-oh. Somebody in trouble now. I done really started really thinking about this. And I went and looked at other YouTubers' thumbnails, you know, and then my own ideas just started coming. And now they just flooding in. So now I'm really, really putting more thought. I mean, really, really getting into it now. So like I'm seeing a whole nother light in this now. It's like, wait a minute. Now I never thought about it like this before, but it started clicking. It's like, oh, suck it now. Yeah. My thrills. Oh yeah. If you go check out my first Thrill Joy video out the gate. I got crypto, and see that's the cool thing about those Thrill Joys. which I love. It's like it brought the fun back for trying to get a chase, like the chase pop, but it's fun dealing with Thrill Joy. Brian brought it back, the love for it. You either get a comment, a chase, or a super chase. And when I saw a YouTuber do a video on, he had Leonardo, you either get Leonardo the comment or the super or the chase, which is Casey Jones, or the super chase, the crane or whatever. And he got Casey Jones. You should have seen it on his first try. He got Casey Jones. When I saw him do that video, that had me hooked. I knew I had to get Thrill Joys because I saw him at Hot Topics. I still wasn't too sure about him yet. You know, so now I didn't get Leonardo. Oh, Leonardo. But this is Crypto. Yeah, basically like a Funko, but same thing. I look at it still a Funko, but super size, you know. I couldn't believe it. My first video out the gate, I got a chase was, I said, I think I was on to something when I got Crypto out the gate. Something told me I need to keep doing this. This was a sign. Crypto was a sign for me to really get into those Thrill Joys when I came out the gate with my first time ever. That was a sign to me. Kim said, yeah, the thumbnails are clickbait. Kim said, did you get the one you wanted from the surprise box yet? Not yet. I got it. It's Victor from, wait, I'll show you Victor. See, look, and see my chef is changing too now because now adding the Thrill Joys to my Funko. So now I got to keep making room. So here's Victor, the video I made. Victor from the Corpse Bride. That thing slipped out again. Victor from the Corpse Bride. I got to do that. I got to buy some more. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stack up some more of these boxes so I can do like 3 or 4 in a row because it's so much fun. Because when I open up one, it's like, man, all the fun is over with. So I get like 4 or 5 of them. I can do them a couple in a row and boom, you know, keep opening them up till I get to the one, you know, till I make a touchdown. Because my thing is I'm trying to get Boney James. Boney James is the chase for the Corpse Bride. This is Victor, but I want Boney James. It's so sweet. Look at the color. I like how they match. They coordinate like this is purple and black. And like Scott Pilgrim was like not Carolina blue, but it's still blue and black. I like how it's coordinated with the colors. It's really slick. And see, what I'm trying to get with Scott Pilgrim, I want to get Nega Scott. He's the chase. And the super chase is Envy Adams. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is a really good movie. We went to see it. Yeah. Uh-oh. I got a meeting in the I got a meeting in the room. What was this? What's this right here? Kim says, did you get, oh yeah, already. Yeah. No, Kim, so I'm still working on that though, but I gotta rack up and get some more of those Corpse Bride with Victor. And I want to get some more Superman ones because Superman's a common, which I want now. I gotta get some more of those Thrill Joys of the Superman. Get the common. Cause I actually want Superman. That's my boy, and I already got the chase. I need the super chase is Lex Luthor. Let me see if it's on the back of the box. I can find it. Here we go. Here's the back of the box. So that's Superman the common. There's Crypto the chase, and there's Lex Luthor, the super chase right there. Yeah. So I'm trying to get just Superman the common one. And it'd be cool if I get Lex Luthor or not. I'll be happy if I just get Superman, my boy. Cause I went down to Box Lunch the other day. And the guy said they done sold out of Superman's dog. So them things are selling like wildfire, them Thrill Joys. And there was at San Diego Comic-Con. Thrill Joy made their debut at San Diego Comic-Con. Brian, and like some people had the Thrill Joy baseball jerseys. The only way you could get it if you was at San Diego Comic-Con. They had a limited edition of 300. I got to get to San Diego Comic-Con or something, man, because my channel will blow up even more. I got to get to the big event. I can meet Top Pops. I don't know if Lamar Wilson goes there or not, but all the big YouTubers, I mean, I could really go all out. Have my Shedeur Shannon stuff made up, you know, Shedeur Shannon baseball jerseys or whatever. I could really pump it up. Oh yeah, here's my crypto. Now here's my crypto Funko Pop. So let me show you. So I got 2 cryptos up in here. So here's Crypto the Funko Pop. And here's Crypto, the Thrill Joy. I kind of really like how they deal with the Thrill Joy because they put that wax seal on there. Now with Funko, if it's a chase, it's a little sticker, but they put the wax on there, you know. I really love that. That's a really nice touch. That got me hooked. And see, look at the little window right there. And like the Funko window. Let me show you. Yeah, here's the little Funko window. See, check, there's the Funko window. You get the front and the side. But with the Thrill Joy, it's like a straight on, just a display window. No sides. You know, sides are blocked off. It's just got logos. Box, but look at that. Look how much bigger it is, too. Yeah, look how much bigger it is. Brian really went out and hooked it up. He wanted to switch it up a little bit. Uh-oh. But yeah, Funkos and Thrill Joys are fun. But yeah, so now, Kim, so twice a week, so 4 weeks out of the month, so 4 times 2, that's 8 videos a month. And they stacking up too. I see it too. Oh my gosh, it's like I'm really getting into a serious routine now. Yeah, so that's 8 videos a month, and my shorts come out every day. So between those two, oh my gosh, I'm starting to really see it. Ooh-wee. I got a meeting in the and I'll be back real soon. But yeah, I got some more stuff I'm working on, but I feel like I'm back to the way I used to when I first started with my channel. That's with surprise boxes. I'm getting back because I had to look at it, go and just, you know, do some research and stuff I really enjoyed. It was the fun. It's because of the Funkos what really got me started. I wanted to do, you know, and on my Instagram page back in 2016, I was taking pictures of the Funkos. That I said that's what got me started. So I said, you know, because Gio and Marlene saying, you know, you got to figure out is your why bigger than your what or whatever however they say it. And I see my why. My why is just those Funkos. I love the mystery boxes. Cause my first video I did was the 1-Up box, and it's just fun. Oh, I love those mystery boxes. I love when Funko was making those big mystery boxes. They stopped. Oh no, they kept making them, but what they did was they spoiled it. They would tell you on the back of the box what was there. I said, what kind of? There ain't no mystery box. I'm telling you, boy, they just messed it all up. But now they do the little mini mystery boxes, which I got. I'm gonna start getting back to doing those little mini mystery boxes, but. Oh, I got so much stuff I gotta get down with. Come on, baby. You gotta get down. I tell you what, this has been fun. Boy, it's been fun. It's good to be back because, you know, I got busy last week, but I said I'm going to try to get up in here today because I got to sound off about Shedeur and the Browns. I feel better now. I'm going to sleep good now. I think I just need to start avoiding the Cleveland Browns news for like the next few weeks or months. You know, because it's just it's frustrating. You know, keep saying it's you know what? I'm gonna shut all the Cleveland Browns stuff off. I'm shutting it down I'm gonna shut it down for like a month or 2 months. I done had enough. I can just focus on my work and stuff, you know. baby. Y'all remember on Cosby Show, they were doing the James Brown song. I got the feeling. And you know, at the end, then Rudy come down. She had that handkerchief. She like, baby. Rudy take that little claw, and she take that little handkerchief. She go all over her head like that. Rudy like, she start going off. It look like she having a seizure or something. baby. Theo come out. You know what's sad too about Malcolm Jamal Warner? Oh man. Yeah, I still like, man, Theo Huxtable, man. Malcolm Jamal Warner. That's really sad too, man. Oh man, I like him. You look forward to seeing him every Thursday, 8 o'clock, and then A Different World would come on at 8:30. Because I remember watching Cosby Show. It was like the summer of my second grade, going into the third grade year, because I broke my leg. Yeah, that summer. So I remember sitting up on the recliner and watching the pilot episode of the Cosby Show. You know, and the only time you ever heard Theo name being called Teddy, Vanessa, in the pilot episode. If you look at the pilot episode of the Cosby Show, Vanessa calls Theo. She said, "Mom, Teddy is something mess with me." That's the only time you ever hear Teddy is in the pilot episode. Everything else you hear Theo. You don't hear nothing Theodore. Only time that Cliff said, calling out his name, but you always hear Theo. But Vanessa said Teddy. She said, "Mom, Teddy, something." You only hear it in the pilot. I never heard it in any other episode of the Cosby Show. Vanessa said it. But yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner, man. Oh, like it's crazy, man. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Theo Huxtable. But yeah, Cosby Show, I used to look forward to it when I started, seeing the summer of my second grade. So then coming into my third grade year, Cosby would come on. So you look forward to seeing it every Thursday. And then A Different World didn't start coming on until I was in the fifth grade. Yeah, so that was 87. And I remember my grandma flat out said it. Now we watching like the first few episodes of the Different World, and of course Jasmine Guy playing Whitley Gilbert and Denise, Lisa Bonet playing Denise Huxtable. Out the gate, my grandma said Jasmine Guy was a better actress. Well, what grandma is saying that? I like Denise Huxtable, but cause Whitley got on everybody's nerves. But you know what? Over time, as I started, go back and look at Jasmine Guy was a good actor, because she was in School Days too, Spike Lee School Days, because her, Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, Darryl Bell, and a bunch of other actors who played on A Different World were in School Days. But Jasmine Guy is bad. That girl, she acts. Now I go back and look at it. Jasmine Guy was studying acting since she was little, so this is her craft and stuff. That's why she was so good the way she was. That character she played, Whitley Gilbert, on A Different World. Because she went to school acting and all that. I think she went to Juilliard or whatever, but that's Jasmine's thing for real. Now, Lisa Bonet, I don't know what she did, but I got to get Grandma called it. I think, Jasmine Guy was a better actress than Lisa Bonet. I didn't like her, but maybe that's what kind of, that's why I probably, couldn't accept it. But see, Grandma was older. I guess she knew. But as I see it with my own eyes, I like Jasmine Guy better. And, here's another thing, too. When Denise left Hillman College, her and Dwayne, she left. I was like, man, Different World ain't going to be the same. So the second season came. And see, that's when Debbie Allen came and took over, because Bill Cosby had her, hired her to be the director. Debbie, she got all kind of accolades. She's alumni of Howard University, her and Felicia Rashad. So Debbie already knew what time it was, and she took over. It was because of Debbie Allen. The way you see the way Different World opens up the credits, you see the camera scrolls. That scroll as you see Jasmine Guy when it opens up. Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, Sinbad, Darryl M. Bell, Don Lewis. Yeah, you see that scroll. And on top of that, not just the scroll, but you also the music. It's the same song, but Aretha Franklin is singing it. Now, the pilot, the first season, it was Phoebe Snow. I think it was Phoebe Snow is her name. She sung the original. The first season, it's still the same words, but the beat is different with Aretha Franklin. Aretha hooked it up. That's the original. I know. As far as when everybody knows the most popular version of A Different World, and then later on, a few years later, the Boys and Men did A Different World thing. 'Cause it's a different world. I know my parents love me. Yeah, A Different World. So actually, I think when Lisa Bonet left, I kind of think it was better when she was gone. I started actually liking Jasmine Guy a lot better too. her and Dwayne, how they did the storyline, her and Dwayne, because Dwayne was still hung up on Denise, she left. He was sad. Denise left, went to Africa and all this crazy stuff, whatever. But I actually liked the storyline better when it came to Jasmine and Jasmine Guy and Kadeem Hardison. It still carried on. It was like I like how they continue on, like it's real college. Some students drop out after their freshman year, and the school keep going. Some continue on to go be sophomores and junior. It's like it was real life. And that was, I think that was the key thing about it. It was real life, because that's stuff that happened in school. You had the fraternities, the sororities, and all that. People pledge and all that kind of stuff. They had like a union hall where they go and eat. It was real. I wanted to go to Hillman College. I would have went if there was a real Hillman College. I would have went. I think that school, that building they show in the shot is somewhere in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in Virginia maybe. But I would have went to Hillman myself. I would have had the sweatshirt that said Hillman. Oh, I would have went to Hillman College out the gate. I sure would have. I went straight to Hillman. It was fun, and looking at a different world, it seemed like it was really fun. It made you want to go to college, the way they, portray it was really cool, make everybody want to go to Hillman. I know my parents trust me. I finally found it's a different world than where you're coming from. It's a different world than where you're coming from. Yeah, and Sinbad is in the first season of Different World. He's coach Walter Oates, But I think later on, more and more in the first season, Walter and Jaleesa, they end up hooking up. I think so. They end up hooking up, but he was coach, before it became Walter Oates. He was coach. Yeah, he was coach. Matter of fact, I got that first season of A Different World. I wish they'd bring out the rest of them. I got that first season of A Different World. And that's another thing, too, about shows I enjoy. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's something about those first seasons. I enjoyed the first season. Now, there's nothing wrong with the show. The characters are going to evolve. But just seeing their characters before they start evolving, like Family Ties, A Different World, Seinfeld. I love how the pilot episodes of the first season of Seinfeld was just like a couple of episodes. I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes of the pilot. It's just seeing them characters before they started evolving. I get so much. I think it was more entertaining. And like I love Fresh Prince, all the seasons, but I think the first season is still like the best one to me because it's like it was raw, funny, and new. That energy, coming out the gate, out the box, strong. You had to they came and brought it that first season to try to get everybody's attention. They packed so much into it, putting a lot of fuel into that rocket to make it take off, that first season. I really love, and listen to the audience. You can hear those laughs. It's really real. You can tell, and stuff was really funny that first season. Like when Will comes there to the Bel Air, him and Jeffrey, all that first season is so much. That's the only season I own of Fresh Prince is the first season. I should do a video on that, like first seasons, TV shows and stuff. I love it, but that first season of Fresh Prince is I think like the best ones. Because it was all new. It was because that's the thing about it. It was brand spanking new. Something new that had been done before. Look at Blossom. The first season of Blossom. I think that was John. What's that? Dr. John on piano. But the Blossom was good too. Because it seemed like Mondays wasn't no fun until Fresh Prince started coming on. Because Fresh Prince would come on at 8 o'clock, and I think Blossom would come on at 8:30 on NBC. And I know there was a cameo episode with Blossom, and I think 6 with an elevator. And all of a sudden, you see Will Smith coming on the elevator or whatever, and then getting off. He made a cameo appearance on Blossom because they all were, NBC, all NBC teammates, label mates, or whatever you want to call it. So, they had Joey Lawrence on there. Joey from Give Me a Break. Give Me a Break. Now, Give Me a Break was another good show. Now, I enjoyed all those seasons of Give Me a Break from first season to third season. I think maybe like in the last few seasons, I don't know, it was just, it wasn't this. It was, you can tell they were older and like the girls moved on. So Nell got sad, so her and Joey and Addie there, and they all moved to New York. And this because Nell moved to New York with Addie, Tama Tompkins or whatever, and it was just like now I go back and look at it. It's like it's still all right, but I think I enjoyed like the first few seasons. I actually liked pilot on up to like season 3 or 4. I think season 3. And the thing now, I love the theme song from season 3 on "Give Me a Break." I love it. Nell Carter, "Give me a break, dun dun dun, give me a break, 'cause I sure need one. Give me a break." But yeah, it's just certain shows. But like Dallas, all these seasons are good. So I don't mind from first season on up. All of them are good. Who shot JR, all of this and that. And like Family Ties, I love the original opening. How they show them like Elise and Elise Keaton and Steven. They dressed up hippies. How you see them? They do the you see the still shots, but they do the motion like frame by frame, the movement. They got the hippie outfits on. They got like the flowers around their head. And Steven had that long hair. He got the backpack with Alex in it. So I actually like the opening of the first season, but I like the opening of the second season better. Third and fourth season, they got better and better with the season openers, which I enjoy. So Johnny Mathis and Denise Williams, who sung the theme songs for Family Ties. But yeah, me and my mom used to. I think Family Ties would come on Tuesday or Wednesday or something, because I remember we was at Family Dollar. And we were trying to hurry up and get home before Family Ties came on. Well, I know I tried to catch Family Ties. That was one of the shows I tried to catch. And I think Who's the Boss would come on Tuesdays, 8 o'clock. Try to catch Who's the Boss, Family Ties, catch Moonlighting, Silver Shepherd, and Bruce Willis. Hey, what's up, Mike G? How you doing now? Mike G speaking to Miss Kim. How you doing now? Cleveland, what's that say? Cleveland Clovers. I don't know. Cleveland Clovers. I can't make it out. What's going on, Mike G? But Mike G is speaking to me and saying hello to Miss Kim. But yeah, Family Ties. Sha-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la. Oh, Silver Spoons was good too. I love the opening of Silver Spoons. You see the title says Silver Spoons, and it's like a motion blur, a motion trail. You see the building, the hall. I guess it's the mansion. You see the title, then it takes off. With two of a kind. Ricky Schroeder, Alfonso Ribeiro. Now everybody make fun of Alfonso Ribeiro, because when I saw him on the pilot of Fresh Prince, it's like, ain't that him from? Yeah, they make fun of him because he's Carlton, but I know that character. He plays that character really well, but Alfonso was really cool before he started playing like the still character Carlton. Now Alfonso was a homeboy for real. Alfonso, he was like, they call him the tap dance kid. He could tap dance. Sammy Davis Jr., his role model and stuff. But Alfonso, hey, if you go back, look on YouTube, Alfonso had his own album out, singing and everything. Dance, baby. Won't you dance with me? No, Alfonso, let me tell you how good Alfonso was. He was so good. Alfonso was making breakdancing instruction videos for people. He was showing you how to pop, how to break, Alfonso Ribeiro. And, of course, he was in those Pepsi commercials with Michael Jackson. So he was always cool before that Fresh Prince stuff. So, that's why, I look at that, for Carlton. So I already knew who Alfonso was before Fresh Prince. A lot of people, they don't, if they weren't paying attention, kids in the 80s, but Alfonso was the man. Alfonso the one had that beat it jacket on and the white, sequence glove. He's moonwalking backwards with the Pepsi in his hand. He turns around and he sees Michael. And you should look up the old Pepsi commercial. Alfonso Ribeiro's in there. Yeah. Alfonso always been cool. He can pop, break dance. How many people, teenagers, made their own breakdancing instruction video and stuff? Alfonso, Mike G said, yeah, that commercial, MJ, the Pepsi commercials, yeah. Those are some of the best commercials I've seen with the Jacksons. Michael and his brothers, they all got back because that time, Michael just coming off the high of Thriller, and now all the brothers are coming back. And the reason they call it the Victory album, because all of them were back together celebrating, including Jermaine, because Jermaine had stayed back with Motown. So the rest of them went over to CBS, and Epic Records, like I guess subdivision of CBS Records, because Michael put Off the Wall on Epic Records, So all of them and got back together with the Victory album, and that's when the commercials, everything came out, So that Victory concert. Now I heard Jamie Foxx say he went to a Victory concert. He said the way you had to do it, you had to fill out something and put it out, and fill this form out and mail it off and see if you could get a ticket to go to the Victory. He got a ticket. He said he ended up getting a ticket, but you had a little stuff you had to go through to get a ticket for the Victory. That's like one of the biggest, like, all times shows of all time that sold out. Victory sold out everywhere it went. That's the one concert I didn't get to see, but I did get to see the Jacksons on the Triumph tour. That my first show was the Triumph. That Triumph was bad. The Jacksons Triumph, but man, some of the commercials, like Lionel Richie did a Pepsi commercial. The commercials were better too. It's like, the commercials were better. Everything, the food, everything. It's just like, I think they were more creative back in the 80s and like 90s, than like versus now, that kind of thing, and like TV shows actually made theme songs as well. It seems like I don't see that with shows now, Mike G says I was at Fresh Fest in 1984. That was the first hip hop tour. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Fresh Fest. Yeah, I was probably too little to go to Fresh Fest in '84. I was like, what, 9? Fresh. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even the creativity with hip hop. Hip hop was so much better back then. Rap, hip hop. It everybody had their own style, and they used the word called bite, which is mean you bite somebody's style, you copying the way somebody copying their style. They would say bite. He biting off of him or whatever. You don't hear that no more. Or that's dope, or that's fresh, or that's deaf. Hey, what's up, Marlene? How you doing now? Appreciate you coming in. Love Marlene 411. I was just telling everybody how I was following your teachings that you were showing me to do with my channel. And I seen it work, scheduling my videos and stuff. I'm seeing a big difference. Marlene speaking, saying hello. Everyone just stopped before going to bed. That's cool. Yeah, I appreciate you dropping in, Marlene. Yeah, Fresh Fest 84. But yeah, the rapping and stuff, Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew, Slick Rick, UTFO, everybody, man. Full Force. I looked up the Full Force when I was little. Yeah, Lisa and Coat Jam and Full Force. I wonder if I can take you home. I think I was in the 3rd grade when I first heard that. Yeah. I wonder if I can take you home. If you, baby, because I need it tonight. Yeah. Full Force discovered Lisa. Well, I think B Fine from Full Force. He said, I think he discovered Lisa, but and Full Force put UTFO together. Dr. Ice, Kid Kango, he passed away a couple of years ago. Oh, snap. No, you didn't say my favorite was Big Daddy Kane. No pain, no cane. Hey, I like Big Daddy Kane. Ain't no half stepping. I'm the Big Daddy Kane. They sample Ain't No Half Stepping from Heat Wave song. Ain't no half stepping. I'm the Big Daddy Kane. Marlene said I was a little kid dancing with my boombox. I know. And see, that's the thing, too. Everybody had boomboxes. And see, the music was cool. Now, if there was some beef, it was like some rap beef or whatever. They had dance-offs. Or rap beef, They put it on record. It wasn't nobody trying to beat everybody down. They sell it on the records. They settle the score on vinyl, Look at Kumo D and LL Cool J, Yeah. Eat Cool J or Cool J cookies. I'm bad. Cool J. Cause I know me and my cousin got into it. She was like LL Cool J fan. I was a Kumo D fan. I had a LL Cool J's first album. What's that? The I'm Bad album. Bristol Hotel on it. I remember memorizing those songs too. Yeah. I used to walk around with my shirt off like LL Cool J in front of my cousin. I was rapping. Yeah, I remember rapping the words too. I'm bad. I was into LL Cool J. I thought he was one of the coolest rappers I ever seen. You know, he was big. He worked out. Had the gold chain. Had the Kango, the sweatsuit, the 4-finger ring. Yeah. Yeah. I looked up to LL Cool J. Marlene said, I used to think I was so bad. I go to work. I get the job done. Yeah, I get to work. I get the job done. I work, baby. I work. Big Daddy Kane, I work. And you look at the video, he got those glasses on. You trying to figure out what's that little thing on his shade, on his glasses, but like it was a label, a sticker, or something, you know. I work. He got a 4-finger ring on. I think Teddy Riley produced that. I work. I work. Hey, you remember Father MC? Hey, first time I saw Mary J. Blige was in Father MC video. I'll do anything for you. She was in this video. Yeah, Mary J. Blige. I'll do anything for you. Yeah, she was young too. Like it was like 1990. I'll do anything. Yeah, Mary J. she was bad. And then so I didn't hear Mary J. I heard her first debut album was 91, like August, September 91, my freshman year in high school. You Remind Me. What's the 411? Yeah, What's the 411 is the name of the album. And You Remind Me, the original's on there, but the remix with Greg Nice from Nice and Smooth, you know, remix. So, yo, Pop, what's that knot in your pocket? Yo, she said, yo, Pop, what's that knot in your pocket? And she started laughing. Mary J. Blige, that was a bad album. What's the 411? Everybody was playing. I'm telling you, that's when I got even way more into hip hop. It was really deep. Mary J. Blige came out. Jodeci was coming out. You know, Mary J. Blige, what's the 411? Yeah, I got the 411 remix CD. Yeah, with Greg Nice in it from Nice and Smooth. I'm telling you, that was a bad year. 91, my freshman year, and 89, 88, 89. And when I was in middle school, everybody was rocking the Africa medallions. They had green, red, yellow, you know, from Africa, the Africa on and around their neck. Everybody, I was like, why everybody keep wearing this? It was hip hop. And everybody, of course, wearing the stopwatches, the Flavor Flav stopwatches, you know. Wearing those stopwatches, like Flavor Flav, the big clock. Everybody was rocking stopwatches out of nowhere. This was like 88, 89 in middle school. Yeah, hip hop. Oh my gosh. And everybody would rock the Nikes, not the Air Force ones, but those the ones that want to join a revolution. I can't think of, not the Air Force one, the Air Max, I think. And everybody would leave the tag. I started seeing I was in 7th grade. Dougie Fresh did it. But everybody would leave like the orange Nike tag on their shoe. They wouldn't pull it off. They would rock the tag on the toes of the shoes. Yeah, I remember that. I tell you, I think hip hop was so much cooler back then, man. You know? Marlene said I wore the shorts with leggings. Oh, Lord. With leggings. Everybody's rocking biker shorts, stonewashed jeans and everything. That was the thing, wearing biker shorts. Biker shorts. The girls were wearing biker shorts and all that. It was like biker shorts, stonewashed jeans, everything. I had stonewashed jeans. Yeah, I had jeans. I started wearing jeans in the 4th grade. I know I started wearing Levi's or Lee's. Yeah, Lee jeans. I started wearing jeans in the 4th grade, I think. Yeah. But yeah, hip hop was cool, man. But yeah, 88, 89. Oh, I think that's when I started listening to Marlene said in a side ponytail. Yeah. Run DMC. Mike G said Run DMC, King of Rock clearly influenced the Beastie Boys. Yeah. Run DMC. I think I was 1st or 2nd grade listening to them. Cause I think I first saw them on MTV when MTV was MTV, music television. Run, the King of Rock, My Adidas, Sucker MCs. I remember going to the movies to see Run DMC and Crush Groovin'. Crush Groovin', bodies moving. Hey, Curtis Blow was in there. Y'all remember? Curtis Blow was in there. Sheila E. Blair Underwood. He was playing Russell Simmons. And Run was playing Run DMC and Jam Master Jay. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde is in there. LL Cool J is in there. What's his name? Rick Rick Rubin is in there. They show it. It's basically it's the story about how Def Jam got started. Rick Rubin and Russell and Blair Underwood plays Russell Simmons. New Edition is in there. Yeah, Sheila E's in there. She does Love Bizarre, but she's one of the main characters in the movie. And the first time you ever hear Tender Love by Force MDs is in that movie. Full Force is in there. Be Fine and Paul Anthony. They like the bullies who beat up Blair Underwood. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Marlene said, I remember MTV was everything. Yeah, Mike. Shut it. Kim says, me too. So let me bring up Mike on the screen. The Beastie Boys, on stage. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it clearly influences the Beastie Boys. You gotta fight for your right to party. Marlene said, I love when MTV was everything. Everything. Dun, 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 dun. Mike G says, Curtis Blow, Houdini, Run DMC, Fat Boys were all part of the Fresh Fest tour I went to. The original name for the Fat Boys was the Disco 3. Yeah, you know me. The Disco 3. They were the Disco 3 before they changed it to Fat Boys. The Fat Boys. Houdini, I love Houdini, man. Ecstasy, Jaleel, and DJ Green Eyes, whatever, Grandmaster D. Grandmaster D, if you please. Dun, dun, dun. Big Mouth. No, what's that song with Millie Jackson? Yeah. Grandmaster D, if you please. I like 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. Dun, 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 dun. Or Freaks Come Out at Night, or One Love. You're lucky just to have just one love. How do you do it? One love. You're lucky just to have just one love. You're lucky just to have just one love. You got to want as well as you need it. Ecstasy passed away a couple of years ago. I think after basically after Houdini fills it out, he ended up becoming a firefighter. Yeah, because he still got to make money. He became a firefighter. I think he had a daughter or something, but that money got to keep going. Marlene said, my brother drove me crazy with the Fat Boys. Fat. Hey, the Fat Boys get down. It was him and Beatbox, Buffy, Kurotsky, and Prince Mark. And Prince Marky D. Yeah, the Fat Boys. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, I like it to end on Crush Groove. They kick it off with the All-Star thing down at the Fever. Yeah, they down at the Fever. Sal's down at the Fever. Fat Boys kick it off. And then Fat Boys kick it off. I think then Curtis Blow, then Run DMC. Crush Groove, yo, groove, yo, groove, yo, groove, yo. This is the song that we don't rehearse. DMC is second, and I'm right first. Hey, this is how we run it down the line. DMC is second, I'm first to run. So won't you call me Uno and D's for those? Because I rock parties from coast to coast. I'm known to the world as Chili Most. MC of the party, and I'm the host. I'm the one and the only one, and it goes by the name of DJ Run. They call me Run because I never ran. In a b-boy stance is how I stand. And I forgot how the rest went. And Darren McCole got my back. Or something, yeah. I forgot the word, but I remember that part. Yeah, they Run DMC tore it up. Sheila E rapped on there. Everybody was killing it. Yeah. Run DMC, Jam Master J. Run. I like. I got Run DMC's greatest hits. The one of the best songs I like by Run DMC is the one thing I like about Run DMC is Down with the King. I think they were talking about God. The way it started off, they sample from their song Run's House. Reporters cries, producers die because they want to be down with the king. I think they're talking about God because they switched over. Yeah, Run and them. They got in touch with God. They're talking about being down with the King. All right, I appreciate you coming in, Marlene. Thanks so much. Down with the King for 10 years, about 10 of them. Gravy said, dang, Shannon got chat going that he does. Yeah. Hey man, when I get to going, I'm serious, man. When I'm really into it, when I'm really go in the zone, yeah. Crush groove, yo, groove, yo, groove, yo. Yeah, you want reporters cry, producers die. They want to be down with the King. King. Yeah, King, that's on that album. It came out like in 93, 94, Down with the King. Down with the King, about 10 of them or something. I can't remember. Because he got Pete Rock and CL Smooth in there too. Pete Rock and CL Smooth was good too. They Mecca and the Soul Brother. That was the album. Everybody had to get that album, Mecca and the Soul Brother. Mm-hmm. Lots of Love. What else? Mecca and the Soul Brother. That was the album to get. I think the cover is in black and white. You see them in front of standing in front of Mercedes, if I'm not mistaken. Mecca and the Soul Brother. Look, man, no shoelaces. And I'm down with the King, Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Mm-hmm. Of course, Heavy D and the Boys. I want somebody to love me for me. With Al B. Sure on there. DJ Eddie F. on their DJ for Heavy D and the Boys. Trouble T. Roy and the other guy, the dancers. Yeah, I think Troy. Yeah, Trouble T. Roy. Troy. I remember hearing it on the news. Me and my mom were down in Florida, and I remember hearing the DJ saying he died. They were practicing a dance move or something. He flipped wrong and he landed on his neck and he died or whatever. I couldn't believe that, man. It was Troy from Heavy D and the Boys, one of the dancers. Them boys were bad. Heavy D and the Boys. I think I started listening to Heavy D and the Boys around, was it third grade? Mr. Big Stuff. Mike said, you're old school. You know you're old school. Oh, I'm telling you, man, music is in me, man. I listen to so much. And see, that's the thing. I didn't know how good I had it back then, man. It was so much good music. It's like you were so used to it, it's always gonna be a good jam on the radio, some good TV shows. It's all in the good movies. You look forward to seeing good movies, good trailers, ABC movie of the night or whatever. It's always gonna be something good because it was just that good. We just didn't know how good we had it compared to now, like 40 years later, whatever. Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, that Heavy D and the Boys, don't you know? But no, the first one I heard about Heavy D and the Boys, Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are? Oh, yeah. Now, everybody's impressed. Heavy D, a big guy like Heavy D. But Heavy D, he could rap. He could dance, too, for his size. Like, look at Rerun on what's happening. He was Mr. Penguin when he's with the Lockers. He was big, but he could move just like the rest of them. That was the cool thing about him. He could get down with the rest of them. Rerun could get down, do those knee drops, everything, breaking with the Lockers. Mm-hmm. And Heavy D could get down too. I mean, Mr. Big Stuff. What's the other song? I Want Somebody for Me. Who do you think you are? Oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I like We Got Our Own Thing. We got our own thing. Now my older cousin, he had that album. It's Heavy D and the Boys. I can't remember the title, but We Got Our Own Thing on it. I Want Somebody for Me with Al B. Sure. That was a bad album. He had a cassette tape. He had a Walkman. I remember putting the tape on it and listening to it. I jammed to that. I think I got Heavy D and the Boys' greatest hit somewhere, but they were bad. Them boys were bad. Heavy D and the Boys, you couldn't mess with them. As a matter of fact, here's some trivia. Heavy D and the Boys were on a episode of A Different World because Dwayne and Heavy D were supposed to be homeboys growing up, so he came on there and he performed on he did I Want Somebody for Me. So Mike said Good Times was awesome. Yeah, I love John Amos. He was cool too. And see, that's the thing too I loved about Good Times. It was funny, it was cool, JJ, but it got to be too much with the comedy. So that's why John Amos and Esther Rolle left, because they didn't want the show make it about JJ being silly all the time. They want to show like a black family evolving, getting smarter as they kept going through the season. But I guess John Amos and the writers had some conflict with that, and John Amos was a classically trained actor, so he wanted to evolve, be better as you go, make the show evolve, make more sense. Now there's nothing wrong with comedy, but it should be like a balance, not just funny with JJ doing silly stuff all the time, which I get, and plus it overshadowed the other characters in the show, Esther Rolle and John Amos, because John Amos, they want to show a strong black family, and Esther Rolle said she had to have some involvement with those writers. She wanted to explain to those writers how black families really grow up. Because some of those writers were white on there, Norman Lear, they had to school and give them the 411. This is how black people get down, showing it for coming from a black perspective. They had to school him on, how it goes down, the black community, a little bit, And like Michael Evans, character name came from the writer, Michael Evans, who played Lionel on the Jeffersons. He was one of the writers on Good Times. That's why he left. That's why he saw second Lionel, because I think he was busy writing for Good Times. Then he finally came back onto the show, the Jeffersons, the original Lionel. And of course, Janae Dubois, who played Walona Woods on Good Times, did the theme song for the Jeffersons. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they killed him off. Yeah, they killed him off when they killed John Amos off. Yeah, that was messed up, and it's because of that. So they just killed him off, They didn't want to see a brother evolve, They just want to keep doing it. Now I get it. You got your bread and butter stuff that works for you, that, work for you, but the show should evolve, show the characters growing up and evolve, be past, the old stuff growing up, like in real life, people evolve, They didn't want to do that. They wanted to keep it funny with JJ and that stuff, I think it was kind of a downfall. So he lost John Amos, so they killed him off, and that's when Florida gets mad. She dropped the punch bowl down. She start cussing, everybody make fun of her. But at that time, it was serious. Like, man, they killed James off, because James, hardworking brother, trying to provide for his family, all this, trying to do the right thing, getting a job. And the thing is, that's the thing I like about James, his character. He never gave up. Of course, he, get upset, feel like he want to give up, lose some battles, but he never quit. He kept fighting, despite where the family was poor, but he kept fighting. That showed he was being a strong father figure, He wanted he still wanted to win, the amount, regardless of what they kept throwing at him, he was still fighting and still pushing, showing his, to live to fight for another day, a positive role model, that was something good for everybody to see, I'm telling you, man. Good times. What's his name? Johnny Brown played Bookman. I like him too. And of course, you had Wanda. She would cry. It don't matter where she was at. She'd cry at anything. Funeral, it don't matter. Wanda gonna cry at something. Played by Helen Martin, who played she played Rose on 227 with Marla Gibbs. Marla Gibbs, the maid from the Jeffersons. She went on the 227 and played Mary Jenkins with Hal Williams, who played Lester. And of course, Regina King, who plays Brenda Jenkins. And Jack Kay was on there as well. John Amos was a much better role model than Bill Cosby. Yeah, John was cool, man. I like John Amos. Hey, John Amos was also, he was on the Mary Tyler Moore show. He was one of the news anchors on there, John Amos. Yeah, he was one of the news anchors on Mary Tyler Moore show. I like John Amos. He was cool with me. James Evans. Florida come back, make fun of him. They were a spinoff from Maude. Because John Amos, his character, James' original name was it was Henry. It was Florida and Henry on Maude. They started out, they were a spinoff from Maude. Yeah. So he was Henry. It wasn't James, it was Henry. Florida and Henry. Then they changed it. James sounded more stronger. James. So James was much stronger, They changed it, but yeah. Maude. And like the Jeffersons was a spinoff from Archie Bunker. because George had that dry cleaner business. They moving on up, which makes sense. They moving up from the Archie, the bunkers. They moved to the east side. Mm-hmm. To the deluxe apartment in the sky. Mm-hmm. Let me see. What did he say? Kim said, I think they both had good character, just in different ways. Yeah. But they both were good, positive characters. Because like the Huxtables, which was cool, it's in a black family like that. Mom and dad is a doctor, mom's a lawyer. That was real positive. Black couple, African American couple, and kids. Smart kids. I got kids, family of 5. Because like Rudy was based off of Bill Cosby's brother. I think Rudy had a brother, Rudy or Russell. His brother Russell. Because I think originally they wanted Rudy to be a boy, but it ended up being Keisha Knight Pulliam. But yeah, Russell, his brother, I think Rudy was based off of Russell, his younger brother. And like Theo Huxtable was based off of Ennis, Bill Cosby's son, which makes sense because Theo had a lot of the same characteristics as Ennis. Like he had dyslexia. Theo had dyslexia. Ennis has had dyslexia. So I think Theo was based off of Ennis. It's based off his family, because he had like 5 kids. He had like 4 girls and 1 boy. Yeah, it's based off of his real life family, wife and everything. I don't know if Camille was really a lawyer or not. I don't know what she was. But yeah, it was based off of his real life family. But yeah, there's been a lot of great talent. Look at Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney. What a good show. Black Show, of course, 227. Of course, Jefferson's Good Times. Oh, That's My Mama. I love that show. That's My Mama. Oh, that was my show with Clifton Davis and Theodore Wilson, who played Sweet Daddy on Good Times. That pimp who always bullying JJ. Sweet Daddy. Sweet Daddy Williams. Yeah, Good Time. But yeah, That's My Mama was a really good show. So Theodore Wilson played Earl. Who played Isaac? Ted Lang played Junior on That's My Mama. He had like the big afro and the big sideburns. He always comes strutting down, the sidewalk into the barbershop, seeing Cliff and Earl. That because Cliff had a barbershop, Let me see here. What did he say? John Ames was real life model. Bill Cosby was a role model on the Cosby Show, but in real life, he was a snail. Yeah. Well, but that's cool. Those shows, it taught kids to dream when you saw stuff like that on the Cosby Show, being a doctor or a lawyer, something positive, coming through different things, like with the Evans family, showing people, across the board, there's always hope, regardless of the situation it is. It still is always another day. Things can get better. It's gonna be rough, but not easy. But you still keep hope. You can make it. You keep pushing through. It'll get better. And they finally did. They showed in the final episode of Good Times, because Thelma was pregnant. Her and Keely got married. They were all getting to move out, leaving, and find out Florida, the apartment they were moving into, and Walona found out the address. The next thing, we're gonna be neighbors. Flo, Walona gonna be an auntie and all this to Thelma and all to them. I thought it was cool. They finally got out the ghetto. The final episode, they finally got up out of there. They finally got up out of there. They finally moved up the final episode. I thought that was kind of cool. But it could have still been better, like if they had James, like if he was there. Oh my gosh. I think it would have tipped the scales even more with James being there. Because look how long he was there, finally pushing that hard. And if they would have had him there, they could, they finally make it to the promised land. James, being the leader of the family, being there, to see that would have been even more sweeter, a sweet deal, John Amos. But yeah, man. But I enjoyed I love Sanford and Son, Red Fox, Demond Wilson. on there. That was a good show. I used to watch that all the time. Reruns. That was one of my favorite shows me and Grandma used to watch all the time. Yeah, I think I started watching Sanford Son because of Grandma. My grandma got a lot of influence on me too. All the old black and white movies. Betty, what's her name? Betty Davis and Joan Crawford, all in black and white. That's because of my grandma. And that's what had my love for black and white movies is because of Grandma. Casablanca, all of that stuff. Whatever happened, Baby Jane, Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte, all of that stuff, man. I tell you, my love from those black and white movies, sitting there watching my grandma on us, because sometimes I would stay with Grandma on the weekend. She'll put the tape in or put the TV on AMC channel, put it on AMC. Mike said, keep in mind that none of us know what really goes on behind closed doors. This is one reason why I don't celebrate people as idols. God telling us not to is the other. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Kim. Yeah, because that's the thing, separating the person. Because here's the thing, I know people get mixed up. Just because a person is really good and you see him as a great actor, so I guess maybe your mind, you might assume you got to be the best person in the world, which is never never the case sometimes. Yeah, it can be just the opposite. The way you see them on TV, their TV persona can be different from their private life or whatever, mixing the two up. But yeah, you never know what's going on. And yeah, that's a good point. And Mike pointed out, yeah, well said. It is well said. Idolatry, yeah, putting them before God, because you never know what's going on. And then when people find out, they get disappointed to hear something about somebody, then they hope, everything goes down, But that's the thing is, which I agree with Kim, I enjoy when you have to separate the person, the actor or whatever, from the person, the real person in real life, because it's two different perspectives. You see him as an actor, like the best person in the world, but on the flip side of the coin, they could be like the worst person. You never know what's going on, so you know what I mean? But yeah, no, that's a good point, Kim. Yeah. Compartmentalize the person from the actor from the real person. Because I think I've heard Eddie Murphy, when he's on stage, he's going at it, he's live, he's out there, having fun. But he says when he's not on stage, I think he says he's more like quiet and more private, Yeah, but we're all still human, so you never know. We're all human, you know what I mean? So everybody, you can't, just because you see him on TV. I feel for it too, seeing people you think like, wow, really? He's like that? Oh man, but but everybody's human. I'm only human. Mike said people make heroes out of actors and athletes. The heroes are first responders, military surgeons, and our parents. I agree, man. My folks, man, I learned so much from them, my mom and dad, Yeah, they got a big influence on me. I call them I call them like my pit crew. Like the people in NASCAR, they got their pit crew. They pull a car over, something go wrong. The pit crew will get them straightened out, help them out, get them back on the road. That's them. My folks are like the pit crew. Yeah, they my pit crew. Get me straight, keep you on the right track. No, I agree with you on that. That's for real, man. And just think about, the parents growing up, And here's another thing too I don't like. I was thinking about it the other day. Kim said, absolutely, Mike. Yeah. Here's another thing I picked, like Charles Barkley. He said in his Nike commercials back in the early 90s, he said, tell parents, I'm not a role model, and because, which is not fair, but I do see it as a two-way thing. It's like you see it like athletes, so kids look up to them in one way, but on the other hand, Barkley was right. He's not a role model, but the parents should be the role model to their kids, not put it off on somebody else, but I see how little kids, you have your heroes, people who inspire you, like me growing up. Like when I was little, Magic Johnson was my hero, somebody I grew up enjoyed watching, and, watching them play basketball. Magic was, like people you grew up enjoyed watching when you were little, like a hero or something, people you looked up to, athlete, you know, Magic Johnson, the way he played basketball, you know. But, you know, my parents, you know, they the real heroes, yeah. But it's the parents, you know, I'm glad for them, you know, have my aunts and uncles and family, grandma and granddad, you know. So, yeah. Everybody want to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike. But it's not wrong with that, being inspired from people, you know, that kind of thing. But, yeah, parents. Yeah, man, parents sacrifice for us. Then we show love to athletes more than our parents, you know. Yeah. But no, I appreciate, no, me, I appreciate all my stuff, all the stuff my folks did. Yeah, I got so many good memories, man, you know. My folks, all the Christmases. And see, that's the thing I tell people I love about my family, you know, my folks. I got so many pictures and video of stuff of them. My grandma, got footage of my grandma died. I got so many pictures and memories of my family, you know. I sure do. I tell people I understood the assignment when I started really figuring out about taking pictures and stuff. I understood the assignment. That's why I do what I do with pictures. I got so many pictures. My folks, my family, my grandma, granddad, you know, I get it. My family reunions, my family used to get, my cousins get mad. I get in their face with the cameras and take pictures. I say I take the picture now, but they'll thank me later. This is, you know, like 10, 12, 15 years, 20 years ago. I used to take pictures left and right. I still do it today. You know, I think I get my love of cameras and stuff from my mom. That's a big influence because I guess it wasn't an accident, but I just one day, my mom had that Polaroid camera. She was taking pictures. You know, I thought it was cool sitting there watching it. So one day she gave me the camera. Well, I get in front of the camera, she take pictures, and she gave me the Polaroid, and I started taking pictures. And that's what I kind of knew I started liking cameras, because that Polaroid, the white camera with the little stripe, the little black stripe on the front, the one-step camera. And look, and Super 8, my mom had the Super 8 when she would shoot the home movies when we went to Florida. She had that Super 8 camera. It's because my mama, I knew about the projector and the film reel because of her, and the Super 8 camera is because of my mom. That's my love come from that, from my mom doing that. You know, that's why I love cameras and stuff. And I really love it just by watching, because, you know, when we came back from Florida, my mom had the Super 8 movies reels developed, and she would take it and play it. I thought it was so cool watching home movies on a projector. She would set the screen up, everything. That's the first time I learned about screens, you know, before meeting rooms and projectors. My first projectors and stuff was my mom. The first official meeting room setup was my mom doing the projector screen and China and the Super 8 projector. And what the thing I loved about it, what really caught my attention, after the home movie was done playing, my mom would take it and you could hear the sound. She would rewind it. And it was just so cool to see how fast they were moving backwards. You hear the sound. And that's what blew my mind. That's what blew my mind right there. That's what blew my mind when I saw that, you know. Mike G said, yeah, you could have been the next Spike Lee. Hey, man, so here's what I remember. I was in 4th grade, and because I remember I came across that camera, because I remember when I was little, but I was in 4th grade. I came digging in my mom's closet, and I came across that camera, and I just remember. So and here's the thing. I remember actually sitting there figuring it out, making it click noise, hearing it run, where there wasn't no filming, but hitting the button to click where you make it record, and the microphone. I remember hooking it up and putting the film in there myself and do it. Nobody showed me. I just knew how to do it. And I put the batteries in there. And I remember I showed her the camera, and I was saying, you know, mom, you know, I was asking, you know, about, I guess she saw I had an interest in it. So she went and, so she took it, we went down to Kerr Drugs at the time, and Kerr Drugs had Super 8 film, and I remember putting it in. I still got that film. I wish I got it developed years ago, but I'm going to still actually send it out to Kodak and see if it can still be developed. Because that's the first time I ever used Super 8. I was in the 4th grade. Yeah, but then after that day, I just stopped. But, you know, but my love, but see, that was just opening another door for me, for my love for cameras. It just, over the years, it just kept evolving more and more, you know, because grandma had a home camera. My uncle, their family, other family members had home cameras and stuff, you know. So it's like over the years, and I always seen people, other cameras, you know, had home cameras. But I remember taking pictures of them Polaroids so much. So So it was just one step after the other, just my love for cameras, video cameras, Super 8. I got a Super 8 projector. I got that brand too, that China. I got the exact camera my mom had ordered years ago off of eBay. I need to get some Super 8 film because I thought it'd be cool to bring it back like the way I started out, So me actually shooting video was on a Super 8 camera before the home VHS tape. It was Super 8. I shot on Super 8 first before any other home video camera, and taking pictures with a camera was Polaroid. So Polaroid, and I got a tub. You know what? I should start doing my collectibles on my channel. I start showing off my Polaroid collection. I got a tub full of Polaroids. I love Polaroid to death. I got a Polaroid digital camera. I need to get that one that commercial that Sinbad did. It came out like in 93, 94, the Sinbad show, and Sinbad was in the Polaroid commercial. Because what it is with this Polaroid, you can record your voice, say like smile, say cheese, and right before you take the picture, you record your voice in it. You push the button, it would say whatever you say, like smile, and then they would smile. You push the button, you can record your voice onto it. I thought that was some breakthrough technology. I'd never seen anything like that before. Yeah, I need to get my hands on one of those, the Polaroids you can record your voice on. And Grandma had and see, I think where this come from is also from Grandma, because after Grandma passed, Grandma always record stuff. I think I get some of that from her too. And when my grandma passed, it'll be 3 years now. I got her home movies and a lot of her tapes because I remember her stuff. I got that tape recorder I once broke and she had it fixed. I got that tape recorder back. I just need to put batteries in it. I got that tape recorder because I know I kept playing with trying to figure out how to play with a tape recorder. But anyway, Grandma had Polaroid. My love, I said, because my mom and Grandma do a lot of recording. So I see where some of it come from too, because Grandma did the same thing. Grandma got video camera. She got Polaroid. Grandma got the old school, she got the one step. She got the cool one step camera, but she got the old school Polaroid with the flash bulb on it, like that, the cording, it pulls out. Grandma had that Polaroid lane camera. So I think, I see where this come from. So I think this is really in my blood because it just makes sense because my mom, my mama do it and I love it, this is really in my blood. It has to be in my blood because it makes sense to me when I on pictures and stuff. I love it so much, I love it so much. My love for it, and I remember my mom. I think we was at Grandma's one night, and she pulled out. She had got me a ViewMaster projector. It was like jade or blue looking color, and I remember my mom watching her, sitting there watching her focus it on the wall. She put the slide. I was sitting there. I didn't say anything. I was seeing. And that's the thing I learned when I was little. I observed people watching them, watching my mom, seeing how she was doing the projector. She put it up on the wall and she was focusing. So this is the first time before that Super 8 projector, I think it was the ViewMaster projector. I was watching my mom. I was trying to figure out what's she doing. She put it on the wall. I remember looking at it. I thought it was cool. I mean, I was just in awe watching my mom, I watching her do that with that ViewMaster projector. I mean, I was just blown away. So that's the first time I ever seen a projector focus was with my mom. Projector. So all my roots go back to my mom with all of this stuff. It started from my mom. Yeah, so I've been on this mission for over so many years with cameras and stuff. All because of my mom, and I love it too. Yeah, it's right down my alley. Tape recorders, everything, man. How to sit and experiment with tape recorders, microphones. Oh yeah, when I had that Super 8 camera when I was in the 4th grade, I remember plugging the microphone in, and also I just made sense. I just figured out where to put it in. See, I've always been experimenting with electronics too and stuff. Like one of the first times I remember experimenting with electronics, I was in Christmas, 1st grade. I had an Atari 2600, and I had the Odyssey. I think it was the Odyssey. It was a Radio Shack version of Simon, which was cool. I actually bought one a couple of years ago. I got an original Atari 2600, but I remember experimenting in my room, and I was like, what would happen if I take the plug from the Atari? because I saw the outlet. I just started connecting the dots, just figuring this out on my own. So I always been experiment, but this is one of the first times I remember experiment. I said, what if I take the plug from the Atari 2600 and plug it to the Odyssey? Now, see, the Odyssey didn't have no batteries in it. So I said, let me plug it in. I plugged it in, and I plugged it to the wall. It lit up. I couldn't believe. You should have saw. Oh, I just lit up. I said, I couldn't believe it. This actually really worked. Me plugging this plug, I remember experimenting with electronics. And I got my love. I started, developing love for electronics as well. I love electronics and cameras, That was like one of the first tests I remember experimenting with, And the first time hearing about getting a battery recharge, I heard it through my granddad. It was Christmas 1980. We was up at his house, and I got a little electric motorcycle for Christmas. And my mom, they brought my dad. We lived maybe 30 minutes or so from my granddad or whatever, 30, 40 minutes. But we went up there, I guess, for Christmas because I had that little electric motorcycle. And I remember it was in the house. I was riding all around up at granddaddy's in the living room and stuff, riding around. And I remember it died on me. And then he said, okay, now we got it died on me. So he said, okay, we got to go and take it and charge it up. I didn't know what that was. That's the first time I ever heard charge from granddaddy hearing the word charge. I was like, man, I don't know what charge is, but they sound cool, I guess. I don't know what charge is. So we got to charge it up now. He told me I had to charge it up, my little electric motorcycle. And the way I remember it had to be Christmas 1980 because I remember going from the kitchen, going to the back. I think it was Uncle Daryl's room at the time. Was in Granddad's house. And I remember hearing dun dun, what's that? What was that song by Stevie Wonder? Did I hear you say that you love me? It was Stevie Wonder from Hotter Than July album because that album was released August 1980. So it had to be Christmas 80 because that's the first time I heard Stevie Wonder. It was playing him. So it must have been Uncle Daryl's radio, his stereo set. Did I hear you say you love me? Yeah, it was Stevie Wonder. So it had to be Christmas 80. Yeah, that's the first time I remember hearing what's this song? It was Stevie Wonder Getting Down Hotter Than July album. I remember I knew I liked it. So that's my first memory attached to that song and Christmas with Granddad and all that, hearing the word charge, the memory. So it was Christmas 80. Yeah, I remember Christmas 80 too. Because the day of Christmas, yeah, I don't know if I told y'all this or not, but yeah, I remember Christmas 80. I had the flying Superman with his right hand, and he could fly on that line. You would hold his line so he could fly, and his cape would go up in the air, and his eyes would light up. You plug the kryptonite on his side, and I had that little dog. He would ride around on this map. Now, up here, if you see up here, this, oh my gosh, shoots away right here because of this. I got this Christmas too. Jennifer got this for me Christmas 2015. Oh, I got, what? I should try to post that video, make that video of Christmas. Me actually open this up for the first time and playing it for the first time. And actually what it is, it's like this little board that spins around like a little pizza, but it's the world, it's a little water, it's the ocean. And you got your airplane, you're trying to drop your soldiers off and drop into the water. And on my first time playing it, I made it drop into the hole. I said I couldn't believe it. I actually got this on film. I got this on tape. I recorded this. It shoots away. Shoots away. I had it Christmas 1980. It shoots away up here. It still works. I need to pull it back out. That shoots away. I should do a video on that shoots away on my collectible, also on the show Collectibles Shoots Away. I need to dedicate a video to that. That shoots away. Oh my gosh. I had the shoots away, the Superman. I had the Play-Doh barbershop set. You take the Play-Doh, you push it up, you put it on the seat, and it will push up into the his head, make his hair come out. And you take the scissors and cut his hair. I had the Play-Doh barbershop set. I had that Mickey Mouse. And now I actually found the picture. My mom got a shot of me on the Polaroid sitting on a motorcycle. It's a Christmas shot. And I see all my toys in the picture. And I see that little Mickey Mouse thing, like where he's flying like a little roller coaster. He's riding around. And I saw my little toys. And I tell you, it's crazy how my memory recall most of all those toys from looking at it. If I remember it, it was my memory served me correct. And that's back in Christmas 80. And I still can recall that back, all those toys. It's crazy. It's like yesterday to me, man, all that stuff I recall. But Yeah, that was a fun Christmas. That's like the first Christmas I can actually clearly remember. Starting my memory that Christmas. That was Christmas 1980. That was a bad Christmas too, boy. That Superman toy. Oh, and here's another thing. I didn't know how to play with the Superman. Okay, I told some people this before, but my mom, I had to sit there and watch her. She was hogging my Superman toy. I remember my mom sitting there jumping, making Superman fly. She was hogging my Superman toy. I had to go play with one of the other toys because my mom was too busy playing with it. I thought, man, I thought this was my Superman. I thought, that's my Superman. My mom up there hogging my toy. I wanted to play with it. But it was fun watching my mom, though, play with it. She was like a little kid, too, I guess. But she sure would. She was jumping and making them fly. I was sitting there watching my mama have fun playing with it. Yeah, she was having just as much as fun as I could play with it. That's too funny, Yeah, my dad, I don't know, he was doing something. But there's a picture somewhere. I saw a Polaroid years ago. I guess Grandma and Granddaddy was up there. I don't remember that. But Grandma and Granddad was up there for that Christmas because there's a picture at the old apartment. And I saw it. I said, that was that Christmas 1980. I saw that picture. That one time I saw that picture. Yeah, it was that Christmas 1980. But yeah, I wish y'all could have saw my mama, though. She kept making a Superman fly. I was watching, just enjoying it, too. She was making them fly back and forth on that string. It was cool, though, watching my mama play with it. I was like, oh, man. Yeah, that was a fun Christmas 1980. I tell you, them Christmases, boy, those are some of the best memories I got, It's like, man, I love Christmas, I love spending with my family, my folks, I done had so many fun Christmases, you be looking around the house trying to see where stuff was hid at. Yeah, I remember. Matter of fact, I did that Christmas 1980, but see, I didn't know what I was looking at. I was just kind of running around. I happened to see something behind the couch, and we had a white couch. I remember that white couch, and the box was behind it. I didn't know what it was, but I kept looking at it. I knew it looked kind of cool, and it was that motorcycle with the rechargeable battery on it. I didn't know what it was, but I know I got excited looking at it. I guess my mom had hid it. My dad ate one. They hid it, and I remember my mama telling the story some years back. She said she remember they stayed up all night trying to put that motorcycle together. She said, yeah, they stayed up all night putting that motorcycle together. I thought, yeah, before Christmas. I didn't know, but yeah, she told me that. I could see it too. I'm sure she probably said it was hurting her head too, because she said that a lot. It hurting my head. Yeah, that was funny, but yeah, that was a fun Christmas. And I remember I told my cousin Gina. I said, I still recall to this day, Christmas 79, August 79 when she was born. I remember going to I remember clear as day going to the hospital to see her when she was born. Cause I remember her mom came down. I remember going to the hospital to see her, see my little cousin. Yeah, that's still crystal clear to me. So that was August 79. I still remember. That's the first memories I recall going to the hospital to see somebody. It was my little cousin. Yeah, I remember seeing her. Yeah, I can't believe it. It's still crystal clear. It's like yesterday to me. It really is. My memory is that sharp on it. It's like yesterday to me going to see her. Matter of fact, I texted her a while back, or I said it on Facebook too. I said I remember going to the hospital to see you when you was just born. Yeah. Me, back in 79. Yeah, that's crazy, but yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but yeah, that's a lot of fun memories, Like those magic moments. Those magic moments. Magic moments. But yeah, that was fun. Oh, what's this? What's this? I didn't see this. My bad, Mike. I didn't see that. My brother was 12 years older, and I would buy me a Christmas gift he wanted to play with. That's cool. And would buy me a Christmas gift he wanted to play with. I'm telling you, man, Christmas is like some of the best times, some of the best memories, Let me see. Kim, what would Kim say? Oh, my bad. That that would have been awesome. Oh wait. Let me go. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't see these. Yeah, okay. Let me go back. Mike said that would have been awesome to get it developed. Mike go viral. Yeah, you know what? Hey, here's the crazy thing about it. I thought about if I can get that film developed, if it works out, or yeah. And I see I got my mom. See, I got my mom's home reels. I got them stored really good. They were working when I got my hands on that projector. I need to get those sent out. I thought about maybe using some of that for my new intro for my show, using some of that footage of me like Short Shannon before Short Shannon, because I didn't start really doing Short Shannon. Actually, the first time it was my mom. My mom once again. So we were down in Florida. It was July 1990. We went down to Disney World. We went down to Florida. And so my mom's like the first person to ever direct me, getting in front of the camera, because she had the camera. So what she did was we rode down the road, and in Florida, you got all those orange trees and stuff. Oh, let me see what Kim says. Kim said those memories are part of your childhood. With them, yeah, cherished moments. Yeah. Okay. So I read Mike. So okay, I'm glad I caught y'all comments. Catch that. So I'm saying my mom, we were riding down the road, and also, in Florida is the orange state. So next thing I know, I can't figure out why my mom pulling over the side of the road. I'm trying to figure out what's going on now. See, here's another thing. My mom and dad, they got to be. See, I think this is where this. See, a lot of this stuff I see where it comes out. The roots where my stuff come from is from them, and like ambushing, surprising people with stuff, with gifts, or just surprising people with stuff that come from them. My love for that, surprising people, my mom and dad, and but my mom caught me off guard. We were going down the road in Florida. We saw the trees, orange trees, so she pulled over. And next thing I know, we got out the car. So she was wanting to film video of the orange trees, and I couldn't figure out. So then next thing I know, she said, so my mom's the first time ever me directing me getting in front of the camera. I don't know. I ain't never been in front of the camera like that, been directed. My mom directed me. She said, okay, so, all right, just stand in front of the trees, the orange trees. And she had the camera. She would go, she's like, okay, now, she said, you want to say a little something to everybody, I said, okay. I wasn't shy. I didn't know. I just started talking about, said these, said, well, these are the trees. These are the orange trees. And my first time doing that, my mom was directing me. She was just saying, just talk a little bit about it. She was directing. My mom was directing me, So then, we showed it to the family. And here's where I know I wanted things to be better and perfected because of this right here. Because of that video, I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't embarrassed, but I was like, I didn't like my work. I wanted to know I could do better. I knew I could do better. I wasn't happy with it. So we went back to Florida again. Like we went July 90, so we went back like September 90. So we went twice that year. And we did it again. So my mama got me. We did the same thing in front of the tree. And I remember my performance because, I watched the replay and I wasn't happy with my replay. I wanted something better. So I did it. I was more clear with my words and stuff. I felt better about it the second time, And this way, I wanted stuff to be right, And I said that, that's when I started seeing, I want things to be done right, my work and stuff, and I want to do a good job, a better job, because my family enjoyed it, but I wasn't happy with my performance. I wanted to do better, I wanted to watch the replay, watch the film, and do a better job, better play on the game, in the game, and yeah. But yeah, I need to find that tape, but we got the tapes somewhere. But yeah, that's like me being Short Shannon before Short Shannon, early days of me in front of the camera like that. I used to play, goof around in front of the camera all the time. Yeah, joking around, playing around. Yeah. So being in front of the camera was nothing to me because I always playing around or whatever, dancing. It would be dancing. Oh, I got it on Super 8. First time you really see me dancing is at the cookout at my granddad's house. My mama got me on Super 8 record. You see me over there by the waterfront. I'm just jamming to whatever song it was. I don't think you can hear the music, but you see me over there just jamming. I'm just jamming to the music over there. We at my granddad's house. I'm over there by the garden, whatever. And like it was like one of those little sprinklers it shoot up or whatever. It would shoot out. You could be under it for like a water fountain or whatever. So I'm over there under there dancing, just jamming to the music. I mean, I was fast. You see how fast I was dancing too. I was like, hot dog, look how fast I'm dancing over there, you know? Yeah. I mean, I was jamming. Like the first time you really see me on film dancing. So, and it was at a cookout. And we always, that's why I always dancing, singing around, jumping around all the time, because we always have cookouts, They bring them records, get the grill, the records. My mom go get ice, drinks, food, everybody. Yep. It was always part of me, My mom would go get stuff. We would have the cookouts and stuff. Cook them hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. Yeah, just having a good time. And got grandma on film too, dancing up there. When I got that projector like over 10 years ago, and I saw on the reel where grandma is dancing. So what I did was, I said, what? Because I looked at the projector to see how, I'm much older. I understand how stuff work, hooking, plugging in, sound, and all of that. Because I was doing it, I knew how to do sound, but I saw grandma dancing. I said, what happened if I plug in, I took my iPhone and plugged it into the projector, and I put, at the time, I put Blurred Lines on by Robin, what's his name? Robin, I can't think of Blurred Lines with Pharrell. And I'm telling you, the timing of that song of Blurred Lines with Robin Gibbs, what's the boy name? Robin, hey, Blurred Lines. The timing of that song with grandma dancing, you would have thought that song was playing at the time she was dancing at the cookout. Because the beat, everything was on point with grandma's dancing. The rhythm, the beat, everything was in sync with grandma dancing. I said, ain't no way. I said, I just wanted to test to see what happened. So grandma up there jamming to Blurred Lines. Hey, Blurred Lines. And because grandma could get down and dance too. She's snapping her fingers. And I'm telling you, the timing was just right with that song with Blurred Lines. I said, what are the odds on that? Mm-hmm. But yes, I got my mom's home stuff I need to get transferred over, Get it switched over to DVD or Blu-ray. That's right, physical media. I know you can get stuff on hard drive, but I want physical DVD, Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Oh, Kodak could do it, because they still, you can buy those home reels now. The Super 8 film, they'll develop for you. You can get the different packages where they take like old home movies and develop them for you. Hey. Yep. All right, y'all. I guess that's enough of the back down memory lane. I can always share more memory lanes next time. Hopefully like next Wednesday. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to share some of the stuff, insight, just kind of where I come from, the roots of my stuff, the way I do what I do. I appreciate y'all coming in. I appreciate Miss Kim Bling Bar coming in, Mike G. Appreciate Gravy coming in. Who else? I appreciate Max Charles, Damien coming in, KT Chaz coming in. Hey. Hey, man, I appreciate all y'all coming in. This was fun. Of course, love Marlene 411. What's the 411? Hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging out in memory lane. I tell you, I got so many. Man, I'm filled with so many stories. Good gosh. Dun, 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 dun. Good gosh. I'm filled with so many memories. Yeah, I can keep going, but I got to get up in the morning. But I can share with y'all next week, God willing, if I be able to do it, be back at 7 o'clock next week. So I appreciate everybody. So until next time, hey y'all be safe. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all taking the time to hang out with me a little bit. And go check out my new videos I got too. I uploaded a new video. It dropped today. I'm gonna drop one on Friday as well. So that's my routine. My shorts come out every day on both of my channels, and my videos, regular long videos, drop on Wednesdays and Fridays. I usually try. I think I'm gonna experiment and start dropping them around 3 o'clock. Let's see what happens. Yeah. All right, Kim, I appreciate it. Yeah, you take care, everybody. So till next time, I'm sure Shannon. Peace out. Freak out. The freak. The sheep. Freak out. Almost fell. I better be careful. I almost fell trying to dance. All right, y'all. So be safe. Peace out. Freak out. Freak out.